one thing I know that I've done, and I've been watching you for a long time, I show the up.
Yeah.
I might be at this conference for 3 days and it feels like a waste of time and the hotel sucks and I'm having all this meaningless conversation, but it's that one moment. It unlocks this thing in my mind with this new piece of information, this new perspective, this new angle that I'm able to look at my problems through. It's through the relentless pursuit of information through books, podcasts, YouTube, Google searches, mentorship, asking people questions, getting in the right rooms, showing up to the conference. Like that really describes $0 trying to save 50 grand to buy a building to 55 million in top line revenue, 325 employees and $115 million exit.
I do have a very exciting guest who I've been looking forward to having on the show for quite some time, Mr. Eric Spofford. What's happening, bro?
What's up, bro? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome to have you here.
No doubt.
Yeah, so Eric, I found Eric on Instagram. A few of my mutual friends kind of told me to check him out. I started watching his content. And normally, I'm pretty closed off with like, you know, new entrepreneur influencer content because like really the truth is there's a few key people out there who have actually done things. And then there's a lot of people that repeat those things, right? Like there's a lot of people who are just coaches who haven't really done anything in real life. And they're repeating the shit that they hear from, you know, let's be honest, people like me, okay? Eric is not one of those people. And that's why I enjoyed his content from the very beginning. And I sent him a message before I really knew him at all. And I'm like, hey, bro, your content's really fucking good. And it's high level. You have to be a business operator to really understand the content. And in fact, we were just talking before the show. It's like, hey, we need to maybe break it down a little bit for some of the newer guys. But bro, you're putting out excellent content. And I'm really curious, and I know everybody is, to kind of just hear, you know, how you got to become who you are now.
God, it's probably one of the most unorthodox paths to get to here that exists.
But you're a regular dude.
Regular dude.
Grow up with fucking, you know, gold coins like Uncle Scrooge, right?
Dude, my dad was a logger.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Work boots, you know, every day. I grew up working with my dad. And my parents were together until they got divorced when I was in 5th grade, did the split home thing, you know, for a little bit. And then my dad raised me the rest of the way. Grew up very blue collar, you know, running chainsaws and heavy equipment and logging and doing that whole deal growing up.
So you know how to work.
I know how to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad taught me how to work.
Yeah.
And we worked. God, we worked Christmas morning. We were working, you know, shoveling snow off of piles of wood to split firewood, to split that shit to sell it to people. And at the time, like, it seemed normal. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now I look back, I'm like, what a fucking brutal way to make a living. You know? Like, God damn.
Yeah, but dude, I think that's why
it taught me a lot.
Dude, and
it taught me a lot.
Yeah, bro. And I also think that's why stories like yours or like mine or other people who actually come from reality are so important to tell. Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of people who are young, you know, we have a lot of listeners between the ages of 18 and 25 who think that because they come from a challenging, you know, middle class or even lower middle class or even poor area of life, that they're just destined to be there their whole life. And it's just not the truth.
I think that's the breeding ground for some of the best entrepreneurs that I've ever met.
Necessity.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the things. I got 2 kids. I look at them and I'm like, I grew up hungry.
Yeah.
Like since day one of the things I've always had is just hunger. And I look at, I'm like, how do I raise my 2 boys
to have that hunger?
Yeah.
You know,
that's something Sal and I talk about a lot. It's like, we grew up with that same drive and hunger, but his kids are not gonna. It's a different thing,
which is a good thing, though, right?
It's good and
that's
bad.
what you would hope for.
It's good and bad.
Yeah.
How do you instill that drive and hunger in your children when you have built undeniable wealth?
Yeah.
It's a real concern.
Yeah.
For parenting, you know. But yeah, I grew up hungry. I grew up blue collar. I grew up working hard. I mean, that's how I spent time with my dad when I was a little kid. He used to bring me on the job sites and I'd sit there and watch him work and count ants. He paid me $1 an hour when I was like 6.
Bro, that's so similar to how I grew up.
Yeah.
I grew up my dad owned an electrical distributorship that he was building as we grew up. And I grew up in electrical warehouses around construction sites. Like getting paid to sweep the fucking floor, which I never fucking really did a good job. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very similar.
Yeah.
Those are my people.
I used to pick up sticks and clean them out of the lawn. He'd just give me something to do, and it felt important. You know?
That's cool.
Yeah. I think entrepreneurship, I think, is an interesting thing. And it's like, you know, are they born or are they built? And so I look back at my earliest memories, and certainly the recipe of what it takes to build an entrepreneur and instill that hunger. I had that. My environment, my dad, you know, the things that I learned at a young age, how to work. I had all of those things. But I think at some level, it was already within me. Like I was like lemonade stand, you know, X-Men cards, baseball cards, like this obsessive nature of the hustle and the making a dollar, in which in my story took me down the wrong path very quickly. And so, you know,
started figuring out some of that higher margin stuff to sell.
That higher margin stuff. Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, so it started at a young age, and I often joke around this. I'm like, I don't know if I should be proud of this or not, but I hold the state of New Hampshire, where I grew up's record for the youngest individual charged with drug sales. I was 10 years old, 5th grade.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're selling weed?
Selling weed, yeah. So, you know, my parents had just gotten divorced, and, you know, the bank foreclosed on my home. I moved in my dad was renting a bedroom at his buddy's house. My mom got an apartment, and I was like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
And they were like things that I wanted. I wanted the cool clothes, and like, I wanted all this stuff. And I was a badass little kid too, bro. I was rolling around with like the Discman CD player, listening to Tupac and Biggie, 10 years old, packing a BB gun. And I would fucking shoot you with that thing. I swear to God. And I grew up in a neighborhood with a bunch of older kids that were like rugged. You know what I mean? And I was like, you know, and so there was this one older kid, Greg, in my neighborhood. And he was like, I don't know, I was 10. He was probably like 17. And he was like the neighborhood weed dealer, teenage weed dealer. And he started fronting me ounces and then quarter pounds.
At 10.
At 10, yeah. And so, you know,
I guess he didn't care as long as you showed up with the money.
I always did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so one day I get off the bus, and I'm walking up to my apartment building, and there's 3 cruisers out front of the apartment building, 2 regular ones. And then remember Dare, like that program, Just Say No.
Yeah.
One that was like all painted Dare. And I'm like, ooh, somebody fucked up in the building.
Yeah,
and I walk in. And my mom's standing there, and there's like a bunch of cops. Yeah. My weed and my scale was on the coffee table. I was like, fuck, I'm nabbed. You know,
you walk in, you like try not to look at it. What's going on? Fuck, dude.
Yeah. And that's kind of where it started.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think, dude, it's very similar to me. Like, I didn't sell weed or anything. My parents were involved very heavily in keeping me out of trouble. But they gave me outlets.
Yeah.
You know, my dad used to let me so they would get light bulb shipments, and they'd come in 4 packs, and there'd be 1 broken light bulb, right?
Yeah.
So that whole pack is defective.
Yeah.
So if you have a whole pallet of defective light bulbs, you can easily put the packs back together,
course,
right? And you have your shrinkage and some good product. Well, that's not how the bank or, you know, insurance looked at it for him. So I would just take that shit and sell it door to door. So my dad would give me the fucking light bulbs, and I would go sell them, and he'd let me keep the money.
Yeah.
So that was my little hustle, light bulbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is fucking weird.
That's crazy.
Who the fuck else has sold light bulbs door to door?
Yeah.
I could have been selling weed and making all kinds of money.
You could have met Mr. McGruff.
Yeah. So what happened? I assume that you didn't stop selling weed.
I did not stop selling weed.
Yeah.
And I kept selling weed, and I always had similar hustles like that. Like at one point in time, before I even had a driver's license, I talked a 17-year-old to put with a pickup truck into getting a plow. And I was like the sales guy, and we would go around and split his truck, his gas, his insurance. And I just sold the plow jobs. And so I was always selling drugs, but also had legitimate hustles. And
what do you think caused that? Because I think about this a lot too. Because I always had that same thing. Which is why I appreciate when I see kids now. Like if I see young kids like with a lemonade stand or baseball cards or whatever, I always try to like,
you got to pull over.
Something.
Yeah. You have to.
Madot and I
got to pay homage.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Last summer, I was driving my LaFerrari, and we fucking passed this lemonade stand. This is actually a pretty funny story because I had fucking no money. So like I had no cash.
But you're pulling up in this fucking
I was driving my
supercar.
LaFerrari. I had no fucking cash. I couldn't even buy a fucking lemonade from the little girl at Lemonade. So I drove up here to HQ. My dad was here. I'm like, hey, you got $5? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, you want to go? And so we got her some the Otis and Charlie children's books, and then went back and bought some lemonade. I think I scared the shit out of Madat.
You still owe me $5.
Yeah, I do. I never paid him. Dude driving around. That's fucking Instagram celebrity right there, buddy.
Yeah,
Running around in a nice car, no fucking cash. But yeah, dude, it's I always had that. And I think after thinking about it like a long time, because I was always like kind of encouraged to be resourceful, but I think it really came from me observing the quality of life that certain people had, and then observing, and this is no disrespect to like my parents did the best that they could and they did a good job. But like I always like looked at these other people. I'm like, what the fuck makes these people so different? Why is this dude driving a fucking Lamborghini, living in a $5 million house when that's, you know, what did he do? And it always like intrigued me.
Yeah.
And my dad was always very encouraging, like to explain to me what that cost, right? Like, when I saw my first Lamborghini, I think it was like around 1988. I was about 8 years old. And I'm like, I fucking was blown away, bro. Like I was a Countach, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. I remember my dad telling me, he's like, well, you know, all that is, you know, he has worked really hard to get it. Whereas like a lot of parents would fucking say like,
Yeah, he's a dick.
that's right. He cheated his way to get that, or you know, those people aren't.
He must have
blah, blah,
broken
blah.
the rules.
Yeah. And my dad was always like telling me, he's like, look, those people work very hard to have those things.
Sounds like my dad.
Yeah. And that ingrained it into me.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I was always trying to like get ahead. You know what I mean? And I think that was the biggest thing. But like ultimately, I can't remember not being that way. Like
I can't either.
Yeah.
I've been like that my whole life.
but I don't think people are naturally. I mean, I don't know. I talked with Gary Vee about this, bro.
I think it's a mix. Psychology will say like there's a mix, right? Like your genetics loads the gun, but your environment pulls the trigger, right? So I do think that like the entrepreneurial drive, I think it's innate in a lot more people, and it's evident if you look throughout history, right? Like there was a point in this country where the vast majority of Americans were entrepreneurs, right? And I think it's just been bled out over time, and as the environment became less fruitful for that to happen, and then you put in all the victimhood and you put in all the like it drives it out. But I mean, I think a lot of people, it's definitely innate. It's just whether or not the environment allows it to flourish.
Yeah, I also think though too, to be a great entrepreneur, there is something. It's no different. So Gary, I was talking to Gary about this a long time ago, and you know, he equated it. His example was, I could play basketball. Now he's talking as him. He's like, I could play basketball and I could practice basketball and I can get pretty good at basketball. Like I can go play in a men's league. I could probably, you know, be good on my high school team, probably play in college, but I'll never be LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so there is something, there's some sort of that
Yeah, for sure.
to entrepreneurship too. I think a lot of people can do very well in entrepreneurship, but there's certain people that have something that everybody else doesn't have.
Mm.
And it seems to be innate.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but
Like the Bezos or the Musk or the,
yeah,
like it's just
or
something.
even, I mean, I think it's like we have to be careful to like categorize people because like, dude, real talk, like if you want to break down Bezos' success, motherfucker was in the right place at the right fucking time, the perfect fucking time. Then he didn't have to pay tax for like 15 fucking years.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So he didn't have to pay.
There was some environment helps there for sure.
So if you have this new company in this new technology in this, and I'm not taking away, bro, the guy's fucking rich as fuck. And I'm not hating either. Good for him. But he had a competitive advantage over the course of fucking 15 years where he didn't have to collect sales tax. That's a 10% advantage over brick and mortar automatically across the board. Okay. That's why if you weren't alive then, well, you were, but you were just a kid, but you'll probably remember, you know, remember what Amazon's fucking strategy was in the beginning? It was price. It's always price. Well, no shit. If you can get a 10% advantage for not collecting the tax, and plus at that time, they're employing way less people than all these brick and mortar people collectively are employing. Yeah. So the government gave them a distinct advantage. So like, dude, my point is nobody talks about these things when they talk about the greatness of entrepreneur. To me, I'm more impressed by someone who comes from the real world and builds something from nothing, like with no fucking advantages and grits it the fuck out. To me, that's more impressive. Yeah. But anyway,
agree.
So what happened after that?
Dude, I was dealing drugs. I was, chasing legitimate opportunities as well. And at 14 years old, a kid I'd known my whole life came over my house, and my life changed that day. He broke out an Oxycontin, and we did half of it. I got high on, I got high on opiates for the first time.
At 14?
14.
6 months later, I was an IV heroin addict.
Fuck.
And so I was 15 years old, strung out on dope, selling drugs, dropped out of high school, was hanging with grown-ass men doing grown-ass things. And, I'm an open book. I'll answer anything. I don't want to bore anyone with the crazy stories, but, it was cops and robbers.
That's why you're here. Yeah.
It was crazy shit. And, and so by the time I was 17 years old, I go to my dad and I'm like, Dad, I'm addicted to heroin. I need help. I get help for the first time. And from 17 till I'm almost 22 years old, I'm getting locked up. I'm getting in trouble. My life is a fucking movie, not the good kind. And I eventually, and I'm trying to get sober over and over again. Like 100 times, dude. I go to detoxes. I go to jail. I go to everything you can think of to do to get sober and get clean from drugs. I tried to do over and over and over again and failed miserably. And, the one thing that I did right was I just never gave up. And eventually, December 7th of 2006, through a crazy set of circumstances, I had to go on the run for an armed robbery for a drug deal gone bad. I was 135 pounds, track marks up and down both arms, had been out of jail again for like maybe 2 weeks. Had nothing. My own family wouldn't answer my phone call. I had 2 pairs of clothes and a trash bag.
Everybody had gave up on you at that point.
For years.
Yeah.
Years.
Yeah.
I would call home and they'd be like, if we see you in the neighborhood, we're calling the fucking cops.
Yeah.
Like, don't come here. And that's how I started. That's where I started. Like I started as a kid in a blue collar, family working and shit. But I really started with homeless. I kicked a dope habit, sleeping on a couch. Puking, pissing, shitting for weeks and walking to 12-step recovery meetings.
You just said I'm fucking done?
I had this moment of clarity of, it was almost like the curtain got pulled back and I could see my life and what I'd become in reality for the first time in a long time. And I was like, dude, if I'm not done now, I'm dead. Or I'm going to prison for a very long time. Like none of these little baby bids, like I'm going. And I had just, by the grace of God, the precursing event to me finding recovery was I was dope sick. I was desperate and it was a drug deal. And I rushed a kid with a kitchen knife, with a butcher knife. And he got a superficial cut in his neck from the struggle. And I robbed him for $82. And I shot 4 $20 bags of heroin and I hid in a closet the night of December 6th of 2006, as the entire police department locked down the hood that I was in looking for me. And it was the next morning that I got up and I took off. I left that state. I was in Maine. I went back to New Hampshire. And that's when I got clean. And I've been clean and sober. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do shit.
That's fucking awesome.
Since then.
Yeah.
And so, I was almost 22 years old. I had burnt my life to the ground. And what happened for me was I got plugged in with this group of men that the principles and the shit that they taught me was so in line. Dude, extreme accountability, honesty, integrity, show up early, set the room up, stay late, clean it up, be of service. And they cared about me and loved me so much that they didn't give a single fuck how I felt. They hurt my feelings all the time. And it was the best thing for me. And I was this young punk kid, violent, wild, chip on my shoulder, thought I was the man, and they really broke me down, but with love. They used to say that, kid, we're going to tell you the truth, but the truth without love is cruelty. We love you, but we're going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And they, I owe my life to those guys.
That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah. And so I went through this 12-step recovery process, which is really meant to bring about a full transformation. It's not just about abstaining from drugs and alcohol. It's what a lot of people have fucked up around recovery and alcoholism and addiction. That drugs and alcohol were actually a solution to a deeper problem that existed within me. And when I removed the drugs and alcohol, it left me with a big problem. And that problem needed a solution. Recovery in the 12-step fashion was what provided me that solution when I got sober. I had this transformational experience, and I got like more passionate, more excited than I ever thought was ever possible about anything ever, to go and help other men get sober like me. And so for the first 2 years, almost 2 years, it was for free. I was volunteering. I was living in a $550 a month apartment. My first winter, I got sober in December in New Hampshire. It was fucking cold. I was able to scrape together $500 to get a month's rent. And in early January, I moved into that apartment, and I had no furniture. The landlord was showing me the apartment. It's in the hood, bro. I'm talking prostitutes, dope dealers, shootings, crazy shit. And we go in, and there's this couch, and the couch is like dirty, and all the shit's busted. It's one of those couches that you sit on and your ass just sinks to the floor. You know what I mean? And he's like, oh, we'll have, one of the maintenance guys get this out of here. I was like, I'll take care of it, sir. Don't worry about it. And I sat on that, built that couch up, and slept on a pile of blankets and sat on that couch. Went back to work in construction, logging, cutting trees down every day. And I would wake up early. I'd be, 6:30 in the morning, cutting trees down, get out of that, go home, and I would walk through the hood. And there was this state-funded, like run-down, dilapidated treatment center that homeless people would literally come out of like Tent City and go try to get sober at. And every night and all weekend long, from morning to night, I just spent all my time there trying to help other people. And it was in that, like trying to help other people, that the experience was unbelievable for myself. And then I was like, these people keep leaving here and they got nowhere to go. And so I got this idea that I was always loved real estate and was obsessed with real estate. And so I got this idea that I wanted to buy a building and give these people a place to go for longer term care. And that was the birth of my first legitimate business in sobriety. With a little bit of help from my dad and some money I put together, I bought in October 2008, and this is, I'm a 23-year-old kid, and this is like when the world's falling apart with the economy. Yeah. I remember. Yeah, I know you do. And I bought a 3-family home in a town called Derry, New Hampshire from the bank. They had foreclosed on it. And I bought it for $150,000 and got a bunch of furniture donated and moved into it and started what ended up being the state of New Hampshire's first sober living house.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. And that was the birth of the business.
So how did the business work?
In the beginning, I moved in, I lived there. I did everything. I mean, I answered the phones. I, did all the administrative work. If the plumbing broke, I fixed it. I ran the groups for the clients. I taught them. I, did all of it.
The groups was a daily thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the guys would leave rehab and they would come live with me. Okay. And I lived there for 2 years with the guys. And so I left this.
I'm asking because I'm unfamiliar.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
totally. So it was a 3-family apartment building. Each bedroom had 2 beds in it. And I lived in this small little studio in the back of the building. And, we rolled like a family. And so we ate dinner together. I taught them how to live. I taught them recovery. I brought them through this recovery process. And they paid weekly. And so a lot of times those guys would come with nothing, right? They got not jack shit. And so I would let them come, help them get a job. And then once they started getting jobs, they paid me I think it was like $150 a week or something in the beginning. And so I really wasn't making any money. I was living for free.
Right.
It's like my living expense was like zero, and maybe I made a couple bucks.
Yeah.
And then I opened a second one the next year. So
you opened one. So you got the first one and then a second one within a year?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
And then I started, one of the things that I think.
So at some point you had to this had to click, this could be a real thing for you to go to open your second one, right? Or were you just doing it purely out of I just need to help more people?
I've always, this is funny. I look back at the career. So from October 2008 till I sold that business, which was in December of 2021, it was 13 years, 2 months. And I was blindly, I feel like I was like Noah building Noah's Ark. I was like, I got to do this. I need another house. I got a waiting list. I got all these guys. They got nowhere to go. I got to take care of them. So I went and got another house. And of course, at the same time, I'm looking at the economics and I'm like, all right, well, I can make a little more money too.
Yeah.
And so I did that. One of the things I attribute a lot of my success to, and interested in your thoughts on this, is my ability to learn. Like if I'm onto something, I'm a 15-year-old dropout. I still don't have a GED.
Yeah.
But I'll run neck and neck with anyone with an MBA.
Yeah.
And I will obsessively, like, I won't fucking sleep. Like, I'll just go down this rabbit hole until I've like mastered this, gotten the information, and then been able to take the information and put it into practical application in that. And so what happened at that point in time was I had a friend that I had these couple sober living houses, and I had a friend that had a job working for a inpatient drug rehab, like an expensive one. And there was this conference in Cape Cod in Massachusetts. And he was like, come down and check it out. And I was sitting in the lobby at this hotel in the middle of this conference, and I met this super hot blonde from South Florida that owned a medical billing company. And she was like, you do what? Do you provide any treatment? I was like, no, what's that? The guy had no idea. She's like, do you have therapists and do you bill their insurance? And I was like, no. And she's like, why don't you fly down to Florida and I'll teach you a couple things and I'll make you $1 million this year. And I was like,
sounds horrible.
Yeah. And so that's when I started to figure out that it was a much bigger industry.
Mm-hmm.
And you were talking about timing with Jeff Bezos. Dude, this is 2011. I opened my first clinical treatment program. So I'm hiring now therapists and psychiatrists, and now I'm providing treatment. I mean, figuring all of this out. And at the same time, Obama is pushing through the Affordable Care Act, which actually helped the addiction treatment and mental health treatment industry because it mandated that every insurance policy covered the
mental
benefit
health.
for mental health.
Right.
And so that was the beginning of the explosion of the addiction treatment business, was when that went through. And so there I was. It was like prime time.
Yeah.
Good timing.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Yeah. I think to your point on the learning thing, I do think that's a differentiating factor between anybody who's a high operating individual, anybody who I know who's high operating, whether they're an entrepreneur or an entrepreneur, they have the capacity to learn new skills on demand.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
I love that, on demand.
Yeah. Dude, like whatever the fuck I got to know, I'll fucking know it. And
Yep.
I'm the same way, dude. Like I will look into everything.
Have to be.
All the way to the bottom.
Yeah. Driver's test.
Huh? Yeah,
Driver's
that's right.
test.
Fucking ace that
I read the whole book.
You know, my whole strategy there was, charisma.
Oh yeah. Right.
That was my whole strategy. But no, I think that's, when I think about like the key people I surround myself with, the people who I rely on, and this is a good lesson for entrepreneurs, because I think in entrepreneurs, employees who are within a good organization, a lot of them don't understand that the most valuable skill that you could actually have is the ability to learn something new when it's required to learn. And that's something that gets kind of passed by. And I think a lot of people build up their own boundaries around the learning thing, because they say, well, I don't need to learn this because I know this and this and this, and that's really not my thing. Well, this should be your thing if you want to make any more fucking money, bro. Like that's how I've always looked at it. And I also think too that a lot of people don't understand how to value information properly. That's something I've noticed. Like low income, low performing individuals, they will look at a book, right, or a podcast or whatever, right, and they say, well, that's a waste of my time. Every single person I know that's kicked ass and done something significant and done well for themselves financially, and I mean very well, they look at it every single one of them looks at information the same. If I can pick up one paragraph or one sentence or one thought or one idea out of a 3-hour book or a speech or whatever, wherever I'm looking for then it was worth my time, because that information, that one sentence or one thought could make me millions of dollars over here over the course of my life. And so I see that a lot, especially like it's just a difference between people who win and people who don't win, how they process the value of individual information.
100%.
I will read an entire book for one sentence. I will listen to an entire conference for one thought,
because it's
idea.
that one moment,
bro.
It's that, oh
yeah. And I could take that
Yep.
and fucking, Like, bro, I just read this book recently. It was a really good book. It was a story about this guy who had a restaurant, and he took the restaurant and made it from basically shit to the #1 restaurant in the world. And really good book. But there was one concept, it was a great story, right? But like my company's built on fucking service and hospitality. So like the name of the book was Unreasonable Hospitality. Great fucking book. Great fucking story. If you haven't read it, read it. It's a good story. But there was one concept in there, and like, dude, that he talked about. I read the whole book, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. That's what I would do too. Blah 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 blah. And then they had one unique concept that I hadn't thought of, and I'm like, fuck, this is fucking amazing. I took that concept, bro. It's already made me a shit ton of money just from the fucking 3 months I put it into play.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
crazy.
Like, high value, high operating people definitely understand investing their time and money into learning new things at a deep level, but also understand how to value that properly. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
100%.
Yeah. I just see that as a big difference between.
And you articulate it in such a clear, concise way. I'm just like, I'm over here studying. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why aren't you doing this?
Yeah.
And it is. I like what you said about it's the difference between people that win and people that don't win.
Yeah. I think that's a huge deal. And I think those two things, like if you're out there right now and you're listening to this and you're like, fuck, how can I get ahead? Maybe you're in an organization where there's a lot of good people. It's competitive, right? All of our organizations are highly competitive. You want to stand out? You want to know the ultimate skill, dude? The ultimate skill is to be able to learn the new shit that people need to know right now.
Yep.
And then also to do enough information absorption and understand that it's an investment in your time and it's worth your time and money to do so. I think those two things differentiate almost everybody who's like, there's things that differentiate people from level to level to level. I find that all the highest level people are consistent in their viewpoints on those two topics.
Yep.
I've
constantly learning.
I've not found someone who's legitimately built something. Like we hear some of these Instagram influencers who are supposedly wealthy and I don't fucking read books. I learn by experience. Well, you're a dumb fucker, man.
Yeah.
Because like if I can fucking learn not to step in that hole because I read Eric's story or I read someone's story of who stepped in the fucking hole and I don't want to do that, I saved myself 3 years of bullshit.
Yep.
And so like, I think that's a highly underrated topic that people don't talk about. How to value the information.
Self-education.
Yeah, bro. And
self-education. Yep.
Like you can't look at these things like a book investment and say, oh, it took me 4.5 hours to read that book. It was a waste of my time. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? You paid $20 for that fucking book. That book just gave you 15 fucking steps that can make you hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of your life. It wasn't a waste of your time. It was the best possible use of your time.
Yep.
And the perspective difference is so bizarre to me when people say like, well, I don't read or I don't, this is like, who you think you are? Jesus? Like you think you're the best? Like you think you walk on water, bro?
Yeah.
We're all out here. Me and you are regular dudes, bro. I got to work really fucking hard to be good at what I do. And I know you do too.
100%.
And like some of these people, it's just like, they're spitting out this bullshit on the internet. Honestly, it's why you're sitting here. Because I can identify the people who are full of shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you're full of shit. You're making your money on a fucking coaching group. You never built a goddamn thing your entire fucking life. You're lying to people and you're collecting some income and pretending like you're a baller. But then there's people like you where I hear your video about high level operation of an organization. And by the way, you're getting less views than these other fucking knuckleheads are. Dude, I want to share my platform with people like you who have actually done these things because I think those are the most important stories to tell.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I like one of the talk tracks you were on there right there about how people don't see the value in reading and information. Like we didn't invent this shit.
Yeah.
Like you guys understand like all the principles and the lessons and the teachings and all the stuff that we have that we've implemented in our life that has made us millions of dollars. I wasn't sitting in meditation and fucking received it like a fucking prophet. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like it didn't just come to me.
That's not how it works. Yeah, right.
Bro, maybe not for me.
DJ, look, dude, I've been in the personal development space for over a decade, like at the highest level. Okay. And I'm telling you, most people think that.
It's through the relentless pursuit of information, through books, podcasts, YouTube, Google searches, mentorship, asking people questions, getting in the right rooms, showing up to the conference, like just showing the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like,
bro,
so many people think it's a waste of their time. So underrated. Like, guys, you don't understand. One thing I know that I've done, and I've been watching you for a long time, I show the fuck up. I might be at this conference for 3 days and it feels like a waste of time and the hotel sucks and I'm having all this meaningless conversation, but it's that one moment. It's this constant thing of like this unlock. It unlocks this thing in my mind with this new piece of information, this new perspective, this new angle that I'm able to look at my problems through. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's how they did it. Oh, okay, got it. And like that really describes $0, fucking nothing, trying to save 50 grand to buy a building, to 55 million in top line revenue, 325 employees, and $115 million exit.
Yeah.
Like that 13 years was just constantly.
And by the way,
that's what I was doing.
And by the way, you're still a young man. What are you, 38?
38. Yeah.
You're still fucking young, bro.
Yeah.
You ain't even started
I'm
yet.
working harder today than I've ever worked. Like,
preach.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Like, and so it's some of those things that I get frustrated with people with, you know.
I fucking love that, dude.
Yeah. But I'm like, how the fuck am I up earlier than richer than you? How am I chasing more information than you are and I'm fucking richer than you? And please, somebody explain to me, how the fuck am I working harder than you and I'm richer than you?
Bro.
And then I'm going to listen to your fucking whining ass bullshit. It's like, bro, this isn't like, I didn't win the lottery. I didn't like, I showed the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Over and over
again.
Way,
and not to mention, I got my dick kicked in a fucking million times. You know what I did the next morning? Got up and did it again.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
How many times of those times that you showed up did you actually not want to show up?
Half.
Because, dude, at least half. Dude, I'll be real. This is real shit.
Yeah.
Dude, you guys can choose to believe this shit or not, but I promise you, I work harder now than I worked ever in my fucking life. And every single day, and DJ knows this because he hears me bitch about it all the time. I'm like, why the fuck am I still doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing? But then, dude, real talk, I meet someone like you, or I meet someone who has come through and built some shit, and then it like re-inspires me. I'm like, fuck, dude, my message is important. Like, I have to keep going.
Yeah.
I have to keep helping people. You know, the world's falling apart. Like, I have to fucking do my part, even though I fucking don't have to do it.
Do you know what's funny about that though, which I think a lot of entrepreneurs don't realize, is that if you didn't, you'd fall apart.
Oh, bro.
Dude,
Trust me, it's like this fucking, dude, Emily knows better than anybody. It's like this fucking paradox situation that I cannot escape, because part of me, I'm like, fuck, dude, I could sell my shit and be done, like, and done, like at the high level done, like with bees, you know what I'm saying? And then I look around and I'm like, but I have everything. I have everything I want.
Dude.
So I'm trading everything I want for a few extra fucking numbers on a fucking sheet. Like, it doesn't make sense. So I when I get frustrated with what's going on in life, I start to think about that, right? But then I'm like, fuck, dude, just about what you were getting ready to say. What the fuck would I do?
Bro, I did it.
Bro, I would self-destruct. Guaranteed.
I'll be fucking honest, real and raw. Like, bro, I sold my shit and it wasn't B's, but it was a fuckload of M's.
Yeah.
There's a lot of M's.
Yeah.
And it was a dope pad in Miami. It was a 100-foot boat. It was a private jet.
Yeah.
And I could do whatever the fuck I want to do for a very long time, probably till I die.
Yeah.
And
you ain't stopping?
Dude, I was miserable.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. Like it was cool for a little while, but you know, on the 50th time that you're coming back from Live nightclub at 4 a.m. and waking up and like, what am I? It's just like, it's for love of the game.
Yeah.
It really is for love of the game. Like, at this point, at this level, you hit a certain point where the money, I don't want to say it's meaningless because I don't want to get clipped and fucking be like, oh, you called money meaningless. But like, dude, when you have a boat, when you live where you want to live, eat where you want to eat, travel how you want to travel, and fucking essentially have access to absolutely anything that you want to fucking have, after that, there's nothing, you're not working for any result particularly. You got to have a purpose. It's got to be for a love of the game. And so that's why, you know, I made it a couple months. Dude, I went into retirement of like plenty of cash and no responsibilities. I made it like 2.5 months.
Yeah, I bet you're bored as fuck.
Dude, bored as fuck.
See, I got real lucky with this. So I learned this without exiting my business. I got super sick in 2014. I got pneumonia and I missed like 17 days of work because I literally couldn't go to work.
Yeah.
All right. And at the time, you know, I thought I was rich, which I wasn't, but I thought I was. I was making more money than I ever made in my life.
Yep.
And I'm looking at my phone. I'm seeing the sales go up every day. Like, I'm like, all right, yeah, fucking cool. I'm watching Pacific Rim on fucking TV, bro, like every day because it was on every day. And I probably watched it every single day for those 17 days. And I got like halfway through the fucking and I'm like, bro. And it clicked for me. I'm like, this is why fucking wealthy people kill themselves. Like, this is why. This is why.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I was able to catch that in that brief moment and then shift my perspective to purpose right then and there. And it's changed everything.
Yeah.
But fuck, dude, when you know, and you know this, like when you get to a certain level of business, you know, like I don't generally get to do what I enjoy to do to operate my business. Like being the CEO and running the show is actually not what I'm best at. What I'm best at and what you're best at is actually fucking face to face with someone, helping work through whatever the fuck they got going on.
100%.
And I miss that shit, bro. I miss that shit because now I'm a fucking operator. You know, like I can't spend my time at the front counter of our retail stores, you know, and I would love to, but I can't. But it just becomes a different thing. So I try to find ways to like fulfill. I try to remember like I've got soldiers now. Like all these people are doing that job for me and they're doing a much better job than I could do by myself.
Yeah.
But I was very lucky to have that happen, dude. Like very lucky to have that realization.
To have the epiphany.
Yeah, for sure.
Of that. Yeah.
I'm very thankful for that. It was a key moment in my life.
I don't regret selling my business because in my business, I believe that I took it to the end of the life cycle that I should have been there for a lot of reasons. A lot of the reasons you talk about frequently, like I had a lot of problems with people, dude. I was in like a small town, New Hampshire. There's 1.1 million people in the whole state. And then there's colorful ass.
City.
What's that?
So we have that population just in the city.
Yeah, but then you have me, and I'm like driving supercars and like.
No one else is.
Nobody else is, right? Bro. I had the only Rolls Royce in the entire state, the only McLaren in the entire state. And so I started to take a lot of arrows, and I have huge respect for all the dialogue that you've given it over the years of what it takes to win and how that's going to change a lot of your relationships. And you're going to take a lot of hate. You're going to take arrows, and like you need to be prepared for that.
It's real shit. And you can't stop it. And there's nothing you can do about it. But here's where this is the good part. This is also where I got really lucky. I still remember what seeing that Lamborghini did to me as a fucking 8-year-old kid.
No doubt.
Like I remember that. And like, dude, when I pull up to like a gas station or whatever, and whatever car I'm driving, first of all, I don't drive cars to flex cars. If I wanted to flex my shit, you'd all see it. You don't fucking see it, do you? I drive the shit because I fucking like it.
Yeah.
And when I pull up at a gas station, bro, it's always the kids, man. It's always the kids. It's kids from fucking 5 to fucking 20.
That's the coolest part about owning these cars.
And dude, every time it happens, I remember that story of how dude, if I had not seen that Lamborghini that fucking day and had my dad reinforce it with like, no, he works really hard. And it got me curious, bro. I don't know where the fuck I would be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The coolest thing about that, and like, because you don't show it, but like I'm typically there.
Well, I'm getting ready to show the shit because we're gonna have the biggest car YouTube channel in the fucking world.
Well,
so you know.
Facts. But
might not be the biggest.
My point is like
the
coolest part is like when those kids run up, like it doesn't matter if he has a meeting to go to or whatever. Like he's gonna take that time.
I always
no
do.
Doubt.
You know,
no matter what. Everybody else could fucking wait.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that's the good part of being the fucking
no
boss.
Doubt. No doubt.
You're gonna wait for me. I'm gonna talk to these kids.
Dude, it's imperative, man.
I fucking love that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think it's something about being able to just see what's possible Like we talk about it quite a bit. It's like if you don't know, if you can't really physically see what's truly possible, how do you have anything to strive for?
You can't. You have to touch, dude. This is why it's so important for you guys to understand. And I'm willing. I wonder. I don't know Eric enough to know this, so I'm wondering what you're going to say about this. But like, bro, like growing up, like after I saw that car, bro, my favorite magazine was DuPont Registry. My favorite, the Rob Report. I would get on fucking, dude, to this day, last night, I spent 2 hours on the fucking internet looking at cars that I could fucking buy right now. But like, dude, I don't treat myself like that anymore. Now I hit goals and get shit. But like, because otherwise it gets boring. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. Yeah.
So like, you have to make a game out of it. Like when you could actually start to afford this shit, you have to start making things that you have to do in order to reward. That's how I do it at least.
I do the same shit.
Yeah. So like, cause like, dude, if I just went out and bought all the shit I fucking wanted, I got friends that do that and they're bored. They're like, fuck, I don't fucking care about my shit. Like, I don't ever want to lose that passion I have for automobiles.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make here, basically long way around, is that, dude, yeah, people fucking hate you. People will hate you, but those people that hate you, they long ago gave up on their fucking dreams, and who they really hate is themselves for giving the fuck up. Because you just remind them when you show the fuck up and they see that you're like, bro, everybody around here knows I'm a regular fucking dude. They know I fucking grew up over here. I grew up in the Melville School District. I went to fucking Vianney right up the street. Like everybody around here knows my story. They fucking know who the fuck I am. And those people have seen us go from this to that to this, right? And I'm lucky in our community here, like St. Louis is such a supportive community that I don't really get too much hate here. Like the people here are fucking cool. And even though it is a hard town and there is a lot of crime, there is a lot of bullshit, most of the people here are really fucking good people. Yeah. So I'm really lucky with that. But like, dude, you're when you start changing and you start evolving and you start growing and you start getting obviously successful, people get pissed, dude. And they get pissed not at you. They might take it out on you and they might say, well, fuck, that's fucking, look at this guy.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Like they might do that. Like,
that's not really why they're mad.
They're mad at themselves for never even fucking trying.
Yeah.
That's what they're like. And I am, dude, the thing I'm most grateful for in my life, like if I lost everything today, tomorrow, fucking whenever, which ain't going to happen. But if I did, I would still be able to sleep at night because I knew I gave it fucking everything I could.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, to get where we're at, it's taken everything from me. Like everything. I know you know. Most people don't know.
I absolutely know.
Most people hear everything and they think
left it all on the field every day since the beginning.
Every fucking day. Yeah. And
they think that today is easier than when you were sleeping on the back, in the back of the store.
No, it's harder.
It's harder.
Yeah.
So they don't understand.
It's much harder because there's more variables. Yep. There's more problems there. And the sheer number of fucking problems that come with a business the size of the companies that I'm in charge of now is overwhelming.
Yep.
It's fucking overwhelming.
Yep.
Like people get pissed at you. You don't talk to them. I didn't get to see you for the last 2 weeks because I've been doing all kinds. Oh, you don't like me anymore. You haven't been showing me attention. Like there's very little grace. You know what I mean? Like people don't give you the grace. It's very weird.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
They don't give you the grace that they expect themselves.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's a double standard.
And it gets worse. Yeah. The bigger you get, it gets worse.
Yeah.
Like it's like, motherfucker, dude, I have 1,800 unanswered texts on my phone right now. I was talking to one of my buddies this morning who I hadn't talked to in a while. And he's like, yeah, I texted you a couple weeks ago. And I'm like, bro, I didn't even fucking see it. Like I didn't see it, I'm like, why didn't you text me back? He's like, I thought you were mad at me. And it starts creating shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, it's like drinking from a fucking open fire hydrant all the time. And that's
so from the second your eyes open until they close. Yeah.
But look, it's better than being broke.
And we'd be lying if we didn't say we weren't having fun.
That's right. It's still fun.
Yeah, we're having fun.
But those are the challenges that people don't realize. And like,
no, they don't.
When they say, like when they hear you and I talk about giving it all or leaving it all in the game.
Yeah.
Most people hear because their perspective and their framework for their life is different, right? Most people look at their day as, okay, I'm going to spend 7 hours at work. I'm going to spend 3 hours with the family. I'm going to spend 1 hour working out, and they segment their day out. And so when I say I gave it all, they think, well, he gave it all during those 7 hours. No, motherfucker. I mean, all the time, from the time my eyes are open to the time you go to sleep.
That was a lot of the challenge, and I sold my business for a lot of reasons. That was some of it, which was this small town, too big of a fish in too small of a pond. I outgrew it. A lot of that stuff came from people that I loved. Yeah. I could deal with the bullshit from the haters.
Are worse.
It was the ones that were close to me that fucked me. I'm sure you have 1,000 stories and I have 1,000 stories, but it was the repetition of like everyone I tried to help, everyone I tried to, over and over and over again. I was just like, God damn, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Bro, because what happens, I know this too. What happens is you have no money, then all of a sudden you've got money, and then big problems to other people that it might take $5,000, right? To like fix, right? So you're like, fuck it. I've done this a million times.
A million.
So I give the motherfucker $5,000 thinking it's like, okay, I'm going to just take this stress off your plate. You go fix your shit. Don't sweat it. Don't mention it.
Now you're the fixer of problems.
Oh, fuck. Forever.
Forever.
Forever. It's like feeding a fucking stray cat. It really is. No, it really is, bro. And then what happens is you get bitter because you realize that people that you actually gave a fuck about, and because that's why you helped them, you get bitter because they start taking advantage of you. And you're like, bro, I've become the fucking ATM for all these people's bad decisions.
A lot of your relationships become transactional.
Yeah.
It robs authenticity of a lot of your relationships. And the thing that they don't see, a lot of them, you're with your breakdown of people's time and their deployment compared to our deployment. I'd be looking at these people and be like, how do you hate me because I was able to achieve this and buy that and earn this and make this? I fucking suffered when you didn't.
Yeah.
I worked while you slept.
That's right.
You went and played in your fucking softball league, and I was turning the office lights off at 1 in the fucking morning, and I was back here at 6 a.m.
People can't comprehend that.
They can't comprehend
They can't comprehend that while they're living their movie, right? Like they're in their movie and like all these different things are happening. Yeah. You're still doing the same thing. The same thing that they saw you do, the last thing they saw you doing, you're still doing it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yep. Like it's hard for people to connect those dots. And
it's hard for them to connect those dots, and it's hard for them to comprehend how much different a winner's output is compared to theirs.
Yeah.
Like you think you're giving your all because you were on time for 9 a.m. and you stayed to 5:30. You didn't leave at 5 on the dot.
Yeah.
Like that's like the fucking bare minimum.
Man, I'd rather have someone here half the day that just fucking crushes. Yeah. Then you have half the day off, motherfucker. Like I'd rather have that. Yeah. Like, dude, I've given up on rating people's work by their time put in. Like I rate the result, and that is it. I don't give a fuck about how much time you put in. Bro, if it took you five times as long as what it should have taken you, that's because you don't have good enough skills.
Yeah, no doubt.
If you put in all these hours and produce this shitty result, I don't care how much time you put in. And the thing is that sounds insensitive to people that don't understand it. But like, that's reality, bro. That's that's reality. The world only judges your result. Yep. It does not judge your work ethic. People think, like I talk with Tim Grover about this all the time. Tim laughs his fucking ass off about it. People think like, oh bro, I'll come work for you. Dude, I'm a hard worker. Well, you fucking better be, bro. Like that is like the minimum that you have to have. Like, and it's so weird when people talk about themselves about like how good they are at something when they're actually pretty low level, because they always say the same shit. Well, yeah, I'm a hard worker, bro.
It's according to what?
And who? And if you were such a hard worker and you actually like, and then they say, well, fuck, dude, people who do roofs work harder than everybody. I agree. Concrete guys and roof guys work harder than fucking anybody. But you know what? We're not solving a rare enough problem there to drive the income on the other side. Yeah. And if you could take that same work ethic that you put into the roof or the concrete, which by the way, I used to do concrete. That's what the fuck I worked on before I fucking started my business.
Lugging those fucking panels into the hole and all that shit.
Fuck that shit. They all laugh at me. Dude, these people all laugh at me now. Like Sal makes fun of me, bro. Everybody laughs at me because I won't do fucking labor anymore. I won't do it. I won't do it. I will not pick up that fucking cooler, and I will not move. I will not fucking do it because I've done so much of it in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is why I worked this hard so I didn't have to do that shit.
Yeah.
Now getting on the tractor and mowing at the farm, that's a different thing. But like, we have to be realistic that it takes solving a real problem plus working hard, plus the ability to learn the new skill, which we covered a few minutes ago. And that creates the formula for someone who
don't forget
the
ability to manage stress and solve big problems. What I don't think a lot of people miss as well is if you had a slice of the pie of the stress that is on my shoulders today, it would fucking kill you.
Bro, who's that sound like? Who fucking says that?
What's that guy's name?
Is that Andy Kinsella? Randy Kinsella?
Randy
I think he said that before.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I get these motherfuckers that come at me and they're like, oh, dude, must be nice. I'm like, bro, listen, dude.
I'll fucking kill you.
It's not just that. It's not
Say it again. Say it again.
It's not just that. It's like and a lot of people listening, they're going to hear this and they're going to think it's fucking cocky bullshit, but it's the truth. If most people had to live a day in my fucking shoes, it would fucking bury them forever.
And that's going back to what we were talking about it's harder now than it was then. When Eric Spofford was sleeping in the sober house with 11 guys and making sure they ate dinner and fucking weren't high on drugs, and Andy Frisella was sleeping in the back of the store, slinging products, doing whatever you're doing then, the problems we were solving aren't even problems to us today.
No.
And so over repetition, day after day, week after week, month after month, year over year, the problems consistently got bigger.
Yeah.
And now they're so fucking complex. It's like 2008, Eric would have died under this pressure as well.
Sure.
Like you have to fucking earn it. You have to get the fortitude of the repetitions and time under pressure in order to grow that skill set. And that's why you can't go from fucking there to here overnight. You have to fucking earn this shit.
Because it's gradual. It's acclimation, bro. It's no different than
acclimation. I love that.
Yeah, it's no different than getting in a cold swimming pool. Like a lot of you motherfuckers like to record yourself doing cold plunges and shit. That's cool. We all like we all get it. We all get it. I got a cold plunge in my house. I don't fucking take video of it every day. Like we all fucking get it, bro. Okay. But here's the thing. Now cold plunge is different, but like getting in a cold swimming pool, right?
Yeah.
You jump in, the fucking water's cold. You're like, holy shit.
Dick
Don't get in. Don't get in, man. It's fucking cold. You stay in there for 10 minutes and you're like, it feels normal. This feels normal.
Yeah.
And that's how, and see, dude, that's how the stress acclimation works in entrepreneurship. You guys out here who are stressed the fuck out and you're like fucking, you're doing $500,000 in sales or $200,000 in sales for your whole year, right? Like you're just getting it started. And bro, we've all been there. You've been there. I've been there. The shit is and it's scary as fuck.
Scary as fuck.
Dude, the thing is that like this shit that you're dealing with right now is preparing you for the bigger shit that you're going to have to carry later. And it's not that it gets less scary. It actually gets more scary, but you just become so used to it. And this is actually scientifically proven. A lot of people's stress levels are very high, and because they've acclimated to it, they don't feel it, but they still has the physiological effect on their body.
Yep.
Right?
Blood pressure, heart issues.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's still I have problems with stress, but I don't feel stressed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I have physiological problems where my doctor's like, hey, Andy, you might want to chill the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is that I don't feel it. I don't fucking feel it.
Yeah.
Now there's days, dude, when I go home and I'm like, I deal with stress, but I get mad. I get angry. And like I'll go home and, I'll start fucking talking to Emily and I'll be like, the fuck? And then like, it's kind of like my release, my venting. But I don't feel it from day to day. Like I don't walk around like, ready to fucking crumble. Now there's times that does happen, but the point that you make, Eric, is so important because you literally, as an entrepreneur, cannot go, like I know all you guys want to go from your $500,000 or $200,000 a year to 20 million, but you can't do that. If you did that, it would fucking kill you. Okay. And you don't have the skill set to support it. So as the stress comes on and starts piling on, you're developing new skill sets along that route that then allow you to carry more weight and solve bigger problems.
Yep.
And so it is an actual process that has a time element that you cannot get around.
You have to respect.
You have to. It's time. Time is a part of the fucking equation. No matter who you are, no matter what technology you use. Like I see all these people now, they're like, fuck, dude, I went from 0 to $10 million my first year. Well, we'll see what you do next year. And we'll see what we do the next year after that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
In my mind,
can you survive the test of time doing that?
It's a totally different story.
Yep.
I have someone who has been in business for a decade versus someone who's been in business for 2 years. Even if the person in 2 years has made more money than the person in a decade.
It's all the problems and the problem solving and in figuring it out over and over and over again to get from 500 grand to $1 million. Well, it's 100% growth.
Yeah.
You're doubling revenue in that. To get from 1 to 5 is 500%. The first time an employee sues you versus the 50th time an employee sues you. And like, it's just all the stuff that you have to go through.
Yeah. But the first time you get sued at all.
Period.
Like you're like, holy shit, dude. Fucking, I'm over. They're gonna fucking take and then you get to a certain level and it's like every day, like it's a thing.
Yeah,
and it's just like
just constant
it's part of the thing. It's
part
the weather
of the process.
I keep having a vision pop up. It's like those deep sea free divers, right? Like they dive fucking down.
Those guys.
You can't just fucking swim straight up to the top immediately. Your fucking brain will blow out.
Yeah. You got to go through the process of the levels. But it's the word acclimate. I love that. I've never heard anyone use that word before. Acclimate. You have to acclimate to each level.
I think it's true.
It's fucking spot on.
I think it's true.
Spot
because
on.
like, dude, for me, like I could go back to like, let's just say 2010 level where I was. And like, I would like laugh at those problems right
That's
now.
what I'm saying.
I'd be like, I can't believe I fucking wasted my time being upset about that.
If you were like me in 2010, I was laying in bed at night, staring at the ceiling,
me too.
Like
freaking the fuck out. Yeah.
What am I going to do?
Yeah. Dude, for years.
What am I going to do?
Years and years and years, every single night for years, dude. Jason and I, Jason's my right-hand guy. We would be on the phone till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, every single night for years, talking through problems, trying to figure out how to make this go. And, it freaked me the fuck out. But I mean, and what's funny is like, it feels the same now because we're trying to go to this much bigger level, right?
Yep.
But at the same time, it doesn't feel the same way because I understand how it works. So I can calm myself out of it. I'm like, oh, this is just the way it goes.
Yeah.
So it's a unique perspective. And I think this is why the get rich quick. Cause like, dude, the value of your journey of being a successful human being in business is not in the fucking paycheck. It's the journey. It really is. And I'm not saying that in some, metaphorical sunshine and rainbows way. I'm saying everything that's going to be truly valuable to you is going to be acquired through that suffering over the course of time. The skills, the emotional intelligence, the ability to acclimate to stress, the ability to handle bigger and bigger and bigger problems. Those things you cannot jump from your mom's basement to billionaire penthouse status like the 21-year-old fucking entrepreneur guru will try to have you believe. Those people, and if they have that money that they say they have, they will fucking not have it for very long. So, the value, and that's so hard to like explain to someone because like I wouldn't have heard that when I was 20 years old. I wouldn't have been like, oh yeah, okay, well I feel good about giving the next 20 years of my life. But the truth is, I'm fucking 43 right now, and I feel like I'm just getting started.
Same.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like I'm just now getting started, and it's just it's interesting what time will do to your perspective. That's why really a big reason why I'm excited about the new MFCEO because my perspective is different than it was during that time I did it last time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger, a lot higher level strategical thinking and for lack of a better term, philosophical type thinking on on a level, you know, that applies to execution over the long haul.
Yeah.
You know, it's just different. And I don't know, man. It was hard as fuck to get here. There's no fucking question.
So you sell the business. So what happens after that? What happens next?
After I sell the business?
He gets a big old fucking check.
Yeah, I got a big old fucking check. I mean, that process in itself, dude, in 2017, back it up a little bit. There's this neighborhood in New Hampshire, which is like kind of the dopest neighborhood in the state. And when I was still living in that apartment, my first car was like this 1988 Volvo that I bought for $400. And I smoke cigarettes at the time. I used to get a big iced coffee and go in that neighborhood, like smoke a cigarette and visualize living there. Fast forward, I buy the sickest house in the neighborhood. 2017, my neighbor across the street sells his business, which was a staffing company, for like $300 million.
Jeez.
And dude, again, this idea of like showing up, of self-education, of figuring it out. In 2017, like I didn't understand a single thing about selling a business. If you said I didn't know what private equity was, I knew nothing about any of this. But I will just watch this dude cash a $300 million fucking check.
So what'd you do? You fucking learned it.
I was like, hey bro, can we get lunch?
Yeah, that's right.
And dude, I obsessively started learning everything there was to know about selling a business. In that process, I haphazardly learned how to professionalize a business. Because at the time, dude, I'm the man. Nobody can do this better than me. I got fucking 17 direct reports. I'm driving myself crazy. I'm burning it from both ends, and I'm bottlenecked in growth and yada, yada, yada. And so I start meeting him and all these other people that I'm learning from. And I see that he sold this business for $300 million and he hadn't been part of the day-to-day operation in fucking years. And I was like,
how'd you do that?
so how'd that happen? And so I started just learning all this stuff and I was very intrigued by it. And so crazy story, but I learned everything I could about how to sell a business. And I retained an investment banker in 2019. And we went to market and we went out with the pitch book and the NDAs and we went through this whole process, got it down to a couple final buyers. I picked one. My business was valued at $50 million. It's funny how things work out. I was going to sell 80% of it for a $40 million check, which from 2000, that's a lot of fucking money. And, dude, it's the summer of 2019. I'm visiting a marketing agency. I was interviewing in Baltimore. I'm at the airport and I get a call and I answer. And I testified to the United States Senate on addiction in 2015. I've been involved.
That's cool. Yeah.
I've been involved on the right side of politics, if there is one, for a long time. And friends with the governor, like I was very politically active. The politics is actually what got me more attention mixed with the addiction recovery early on.
You don't say.
Yeah.
I go on fucking MFCEO for 4 fucking years and preach how to make millions of dollars. I go fucking start talking about bullshit going on in the world. My show grows 4 times over.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so I testify in 2015. I make a name for myself in my own state and in Washington. I help craft a couple federal acts around recovery and treatment.
That's awesome.
Comprehensive Addiction Recovery Act 1 and 2. I participated in that with a bunch of different senators and Congress people and whatever. 2019, I'm at that airport. My phone rings. It's a Washington, D.C. number. I think it's my friend, a former congressman who's now a lobbyist. I answer the phone. I go, "What's up?" The woman goes, "Eric, is this Eric Spofford?" I said, "It is." She says, "Can you hold for the vice president, please?"
Oh, shit.
I said, I swear to fucking God, I said, "The vice president of what?" And she said, "America, sir, Mike Pence."
No shit.
Yeah. And
so Pence?
Dude, he says he wants to come to New Hampshire and he wants to come visit my place and he wants to address the opioid epidemic. And addiction crisis. And of course, for those guys, it was about the border and all this shit. And, was I cool with that? And I said, "Shit, sir, I'm honored." He says, "Great, I'll be there Tuesday." It was like fucking Wednesday. someone called me from the White House immediately after. They were like, Eric, we're going to have a team on the ground tomorrow to start preparing and check the space out. Dude, the next day I got this like 30,000 square foot office building. I got a 9,000 square feet recovery center, which is like, I had seating for like 300 people. I used to host events there and did all sorts of cool shit for people in recovery. I'm like standing at the window and like 25 fucking black SUVs pull in. And I'm like, oh shit,
They're here.
This is the real deal.
Yeah.
Dude, they didn't leave for 5-6 days. It was nuts. Fast forward, day of the event, they have the whole thing locked down, Secret Service everywhere. I got 300 of who's sitting in this, probably 250, 275, but sitting in this space. The vice president is supposed to walk through the door in 20 minutes. And the top dog from the White House grabs me and says, Eric, come here, I got to talk to you. As I'm shaking hands and politicking in the room. And he says, this event's canceled.
No fucking way.
I said, what do you mean this event's canceled? He says, there's been an incident. I don't know. They haven't told me anything about it. They turned Air Force 2 around. The vice president is not coming. You're going to walk on that stage. You're going to thank everyone for coming. And you're going to introduce me. And I'm going to shut this down. I said, fucking soldier up, dog. Let's go. I walk out on the stage. I fucking shut the thing down. He shuts it down. Bro, Donald Trump, a couple days later, is on the, he always used to get caught on his way to the helicopter on the little lawn thing.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump, I have this clip somewhere else, and he says, there wasn't a matter of national security. They're asking him, why did they never change their schedules?
Yeah.
And so they thought it was Russia. They thought it was China. They thought it was like all this speculation, and the media wouldn't leave it alone. And he says, it wasn't a matter of national security. There was a problem at the site. Motherfucker, I'm the site. I'm the site. It's my site. It was my place. Like, the fuck do you mean this? Bro, I'm wearing a tinfoil suit, bro. I got my AR-15. Like, I'm bugged out. Dude, it was 3 weeks. It was actually 20 days from the cancellation of the event. I got this talk about like the shit we go through with people on the way there. Dude, I'm 20 days in. It's a Monday morning. It's 10 a.m. I walk out of HR. I have a meeting with my director of HR, my chief people officer. I'm walking down the hallway in corporate, and my chief marketing officer, former NFL player, grabs me. And he had like had a career ending. He played for the Giants, played for the Bucks. Huge dude, fucking lovable guy. If you met him today, you'd love him. Funny as fuck. He's great. He says to me, I need to talk to you. So, dude, I'm a little busy. It's like 10 a.m. on Monday. Like, there's a lot going on. It's no real shit. I need to talk. He's also one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Pulls me into his office, tells me, bro, it's 2019. I just gave the dude a fucking medallion for 13 years of sobriety in Alcoholics Anonymous, like 2 months.
This guy?
This guy. He looks at me and goes, dude, this is a crazy story, but I got to tell you, in 2017, I relapsed on pain meds. It turned to fentanyl and dope. I met a girl. She introduced me to a dope dealer. I was driving the packages. He got busted by the DEA. I got busted by the DEA. I've been an undercover informant for the DEA for the last 2 fucking years. And the DEA told Secret Service that I work here and I was in the building, and that's why that event was canceled. The feds forced me to take a fucking charge, and they are releasing the information right now. I said, can you say that again? Like, can you walk me through this one more fucking time? Dude, the headline, I said, we got to get out of the building. Let's go. We'll figure this out. We leave. I call my lawyer.
So this is 3 weeks after the thing.
3 weeks after the thing, the feds fucking forced the kid to plead guilty to a charge as part of his plea agreement, and then fed it to the media. Politico breaks the story first, and by fucking noontime, I have Fox, MSNBC, CNN, and every other one of these fucking assholes you can think of in front of my house. And the national headline was Mike Pence's visit to New Hampshire canceled to avoid meeting drug dealer. I own a drug rehabilitation business.
Jesus, dude.
It was a fucking nightmare, bro.
Jesus.
The private equity company calls me at 3 p.m. As I'm like firefighting, talking to PR people, lawyers, and fucking every other person, explaining that I'm not part of a drug trafficking operation.
Yeah.
And I picked up the phone.
So they're talking about him.
Him.
In the headline.
Yeah.
Got it.
Him. Yeah, he's the guy.
Yeah, they're not talking about your past.
No.
Yeah.
He fucking... There you go. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Fucking crazy. And dude, it was fucking bananas, bro. The private equity company guy calls me, and I said, hey, he goes, we're out. I go, I figured. It's up. Yeah. And so here I am in 2019 with my dick in my hand, bro. I owed the IRS a couple $1 million. I had no cash. And dude, I was left to fight for my life.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was nuts. But anyways, that was part of the process of selling.
That would have been, it would have been nice for them to just not fucking ask you to come, huh? Not ask to come to see you. I could have
I could have just said no, and I would. But here's the crazy thing: I would have got $40 million. What I didn't know at the time was I would have got $40 million. I would have had to pay taxes on it, and I wouldn't have the cash flow for the. Dude, I ended up selling the thing for 115.
Yeah,
2 years later.
Yeah.
And so then
I've had 2 of those episodes, not quite like that, but where we had big offers and I said no. And both times at the time,
Thank God.
Really, yeah, exactly.
Thank God.
Huge blessings.
And the other thing I didn't realize was that they would have fired me within 6 months.
Yeah.
I would have had 20% equity.
Man, they would have fired all your fucking staff too.
All of them.
That's a whole nother thing.
They would have changed everything.
About the people. Right.
I would have been miserable. But anyways, fast forward a couple of years, I closed 3 minority deals to take cash off the table at a growing valuation. I finally exit for the 115 after a 10-month process in December of 21. I had bought a house in Miami. I had bought all the toys. And your original question, which I sidetracked from, apologies, but it was, what happens then? Dude, I got a pile of cash. I'm in Miami. I'm a recently single dude. And it was a wild couple months.
Yeah.
And then I got bored and miserable. And I was like, I got to get back in the game.
Yeah.
And so I thought I would, honestly, looking back, like I knew it wasn't going to last forever. There's only so many days you can like wake up, go out, go on your boat, like, you know, like try to occupy your time with like all this shit.
You can't go from being that driven, bro.
No.
To fucking nothing.
But I thought I would last longer.
Yeah.
At like 2.5 months, I was like done.
Were you training and shit then? Like fitness wise?
Oh yeah. Always.
Yeah.
And dude, to mind you, I'm sober. So like I'm going out and drinking Red Bulls and hanging out with pretty girls and like doing shit like that.
Yeah,
but like I'm eating right. I'm working out and like I'm sober.
I think how worse things would have been if you weren't. Yeah.
Would have been a shit show. But then I decided to pivot back and start opening some more companies. And so I've launched another addiction treatment business. We've been revenue positive and open since January 1st. We opened on New Year's Day in Columbus, Ohio.
23. So brand new.
Brand new.
That's cool, man.
Brand new. Couple months. And we have, the first one is open, staffed. I mean, the last 90 days, I've onboarded 110 employees. Growing, back doing what I love every day, just up and at them. And we have the next 4 sites. I purchased the real estate that's all being developed now. And so we will be, if all goes to plan, inside of 24 months, we'll be at somewhere between 80 and 90 million top line.
That's crazy, dude. So
plus the real estate assets.
So they didn't give you guys a non-compete or anything?
Only for the New England states.
Oh, okay.
Well, they really knew how to hurt me with that one. It's like, I fucking hate it here anyway. I'm going to Miami.
Oh man, that sucks. I can't.
Yeah. I was like, the whole time, like, guys, you're killing me with this New England shit.
So what do you think, dude? So like, there's a lot of people that listen, right? And they're listening and they're in the process. I mean, what do you, like, if you had to like, and I know this is kind of putting you on the spot a little bit with coming up with some things, but like, what do you think the most important skill sets, like if you had to name, like, let's say 3 that you personally have that have helped you go from, you know, basically less than 0. Okay. Like in a really bad spot, addicted to drugs, where everybody doesn't want to be, to where everybody does want to be, where you're living in an oceanfront property in Miami, one of the coolest cities on the earth.
Yeah.
You're driving the coolest shit. You're flying on your own fucking airplane.
Yeah.
I mean, what if you, like, if I was fucking, you know, 17, bro, and my life is a fucking wreck right now, or 25, my life is a wreck. What would you say to those people?
The uncommon path produces an uncommon life. Like the amount of decisions that I had to do, that when my life was a wreck, I had to look, you know, your life is your life. Those people that I was with at the time were my friends. I had to look at all of them and say, I got to go and I can never speak to you again. Or it's going to be a long time before we do. And, you know, my entire 20s, I got sober almost 22 years old. My entire 20s, I never went to a nightclub. I never went out. I just lived in a very unorthodox manner which at the time, like, I love the stuff you talk about. Like, I started my business before MySpace.
Mm-hmm.
There was no Instagram. There was none
I think
of
that gives
stuff.
you a massive advantage over everybody these days.
Yeah. But 3 attributes, I think: resiliency, right? You have to be resilient, like resiliency mixed with optimism, like getting up and getting punched in the face every fucking day and doing it again tomorrow. Work ethic, which is kind of what I was talking about like being able to go the extra mile and however you want to look at it, sacrifice or make the investment in your business and in your future. And back to that ability to learn. Like, you really are limited by your capacity in which you can learn. And so, like, right now, I hang out or I seek mentorship and guidance from people like you and guys that are worth hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars and billions of dollars. And they think in an entirely different way. A billionaire, what I've realized, thinks entirely different than someone that just cracked into 100 million, 9-figure, or a decamillionaire or a millionaire. Like, and so just that self-limiting mindset, being able to remove that and continue to learn and grow and self-educate.
Dude, I really like your view on the self-education part of it, because it's funny, because we live in this time where we have access to more information than we've ever had, but we also live in a time where people are utilizing the information available less than they ever have.
Isn't that unbelievable?
It's weird, isn't it?
It's so weird.
And
so I did a little coaching thing. So I talked to a lot of entrepreneurs and I'm like, do you understand? I used to go to the fucking library and use what was called the Dewey Decimal System to find a fucking book on a shelf, to fucking take it home and read it. Or I would sit in Barnes and Noble because I couldn't afford the book. Yeah. Like, you can literally look on your phone and have access to all this information, and they just take it for granted.
Dude, I think there's a massive advantage for people like you and me who have had to survive and thrive as ambitious, driven people without the internet. I think it's a massive fucking advantage, bro. Me running my business that first 7 or 8 years before like social media really became a thing. Because remember, Facebook was just for college kids. Like, it wasn't for the public at first. It was for university students.
Yeah.
Instagram wasn't a fucking thing. So it was Facebook, and that was really it. MySpace, okay.
Which was
but that was like what, 2007, 8, 9? Like, that wasn't like, it wasn't applicable for any sort of business growth.
That's right.
It was just your friends, right? And which, by the way, I kind of missed that about social media. That was much better social media. Tom, bring it back, bro.
Bring it back.
Yeah, open the algorithm.
Top friends.
Yeah, bro.
Top friends.
Tom, I'll keep you on my top friends this time, bro. Poor Tom. But like, dude, those guys, I know those guys actually, and they should bring it back. But anyhow, the point is that, like, dude, you know, I try to explain this to these younger people and they just don't fucking get it.
They don't get it.
Bro, I had to go fucking heel toe my fat ass around fucking Springfield, Missouri, knocking on fucking doors, bro, saying, hey guys, I'm Andy. Who the fuck is Andy? Like, no one gives a fuck who Andy is back then. Oh, you're disturbing my fucking whatever, right? And I'm like, well, you know, if you ever want to get in shape, like, we got this, like, dude, I did that for years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just different. And I'm very thankful that I grew up without it, because now I'm like equipped to do whatever the fuck I need to do.
Do you know what also falls in the same line of that is the fact that both you and I lived and worked and grinded and hustled through 08, 09.
Yeah.
Through that recession.
Huge deal.
And so
huge deal right now.
Huge, because of everything that is happening now and what's to come.
Yeah. I just did a story on this on fucking IG yesterday, bro.
Oh, did you?
I was talking about, like, look, the real people who have been through this shit already. Like, I could tell you this, I'm fucking salivating. I'm like, holy fuck, bro. I'm like, all these other motherfuckers that compete with me are going to get fucking destroyed.
Yes. Yep.
And I'm going to gobble up all their market.
Yeah.
Because I've been through it. I know exactly how it's going to go. Everybody's going to go in their shell. Everybody's going to wait. And here's the problem. They're going to fall for the bullshit.
Yeah. I'm down in Miami like, hey, what happened to all you guys making millions of dollars on fucking NFTs?
Yeah.
What happened to this stupid shit?
No shit.
Right?
And all you motherfuckers, and they called us all stupid. Like, bro, you know how many of these motherfuckers with the NFTs hit me up and they're like, bro, get yourself this one and that one. I'm like, motherfucker, it is a fucking picture on the fucking internet that you want me to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for.
I know.
This has got to, like, I'm sorry, but this has to be the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire fucking life.
Dude, when I saw that happen, I was like, this is definitely the top and we're fucked.
Well,
like, we're fucked. Like,
yeah, bro,
like the second people are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars of this picture that you own
for
on your
status
phone
shit, right,
to show somebody,
yeah.
like we can only go down from here because we've eclipsed the stupidest fucking shit we could possibly think of.
Yeah,
like
dude,
we've created
people
it.
Don't understand.
We've achieved that.
Dude, 100%.
Yeah.
People don't understand.
I'll probably take a lot of hits for that.
No,
really,
it's fucking real shit.
It's like, I just looked at that whole thing in Miami. Was like
there was too much money,
NFT.
Bro.
That's what I mean.
We lived right now. Right now, we're having a correction back to reality.
Back to reality.
That's what we're having.
Yeah.
You motherfuckers think the shit's falling apart, which it actually is, and you're going to have to be tactful to move through it. But it'll still be there.
It's going to separate the real from the fake,
dude,
and I can't wait.
I can't either. I can't
fucking
either.
wait.
I can't either, dude. For the last 8 fucking years, I've seen on the internet all these fucking guys who don't do shit, who don't have a company, they don't ship a product, they don't have a real service. I've seen them making millions of dollars repeating and regurgitating shit that I've said.
Yeah,
shit that I've said personally that I learned from growing actual companies. I see them repeating the shit and charging people for it. You motherfuckers are going to get your fucking ass beat. Like, that's reality. Like, you guys, the people who
get your teeth kicked in.
Those people are
and most
done.
of them, dude, I'm 38 years old.
Yeah.
And so I was 23 in 2008, and most 23-year-olds in 2008 were not starting businesses.
Right.
They were off fucking off doing whatever it is they did. And so you got to think, like, everyone younger than me has not much recollection of what that was like.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, they don't know.
No.
Like, dude, they don't know. They didn't watch people go out and try to get a job for 9 months, doing interviews every other day.
Yeah.
They didn't see people lose their fucking homes because they got laid off.
They're still not. We're starting feeling that kind of pain yet. Like, it hasn't even started.
Hasn't even started.
Yeah. Dude.
And everyone who's been around long enough that I've talked to shares the same thing that we agree upon, that this hasn't even started yet.
Dude, because they never seen it. These people never saw it. Like, dude,
how much worse can it get? A lot fucking worse.
Dude. And all you motherfuckers out there saying, well, I don't feel like working, or I don't feel like, going into the office, or I don't this or that.
I hope you fucking starve.
Bro, well, they're going to starve.
I know.
These people have, we in the United States of America, what we're suffering with right now is an embarrassment of fucking riches. Okay. We've been so fucking financially successful as a country that a literal moron could make money doing it over the last decade.
They were, with pictures of monkeys.
Yes. dude, for real.
I'm serious. It drove me nuts.
So, dude, now we're getting back into a competitive atmosphere where people are going to be discerning with where they spend their money.
Yeah.
They're going to protect their money. They're going to be careful where they spend it. They're going to spend it with certain people that they like. They're going to support causes with their dollars. Like, dude, we're moving into a completely different environment.
Yep.
And all these spoiled people who fucking, they're saying shit like, oh, dude, I think I'm just going to travel the world in a fucking van and experience. Bro, you guys are fucked.
You're so fucked.
It's going to get so fucking hard to earn money because money is going to become scarce. And people are going to protect it. They're not going to spend it on your fucking bullshit coaching if you don't have real shit. Because, dude, the real killers, they see this as an opportunity.
They're going to 100x.
They see it as like, fuck. Like, dude, most of these people are saying, well, we're gonna show you how to survive. Motherfucker, no. If you're thinking about it the right way, this is where you leverage up and you level from where you are to maybe 2 or 3 levels higher than you are, because everybody else stops. Everybody else goes in their turtle shell and says, fuck, dude, it's scary out there.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, what happens is they never come the fuck back out. They never come out.
A lot of the stuff that you talk about with politics and what's going on in the world and all of that is so spot on. And it really, it makes me think of when we came through 2008, 9, 10, the world was never the fucking same again.
Yeah.
It was this transitioning period that a lot of things fucking changed. And we're going into another winter, another dark time, that the same thing's going to happen. And what has happened is the separation of wealth and the death of the middle class.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, is it wrong? Yeah. Like there's so many principles of philosophy and ideologies that we could fucking stand on and be pissed off and fucking bang the table over, you know, patriotism and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, the game's the game.
Yeah.
And you better learn how to fucking play to win.
Yeah. And
you're going to get caught out there.
Yeah.
And you're going to fucking die.
And you have to learn how to do it in an environment.
That's
the
what I mean.
rules that apply 5 years ago do not apply anymore.
Yeah.
They don't apply anymore. And you're still seeing people say the shit they were saying 5 years ago, not understanding that we're moving into a completely different environment. Dude, it's easy to fucking sell widgets when everybody's got money to waste on widgets.
Yep.
It's a completely different thing to sell widgets that nobody fucking needs. Dude, when nobody has any money. You're going to starve.
A great example of that is I'm in Miami and I got all these people that are fucking printing money during this good times these last few years in the Airbnb space.
Oh, fuck.
They're either renting or owning fucking spaces, putting them out on Airbnb and blah, blah, blah. You know how many times I've heard about the missed opportunity that I've had? Bro, you know what I own? I own fucking B-class residential fucking real estate. Single family homes and apartments. Most of it's Section 8.
Yeah.
I'm doing just fine.
Yeah. Because there's always a need for that.
There's always a need for that.
That's what I'm trying to say.
And I'm in healthcare services.
Dude,
like,
that's what I'm
thinking into this.
Well, yeah, it's also, that's sort of vertically integrating your business.
Yeah.
If we're being real.
I know.
Because most of the drug problem is in those communities. So, well, the drug problem that we see, there's a completely different drug problem at the top that nobody talks about.
At all levels. Yeah. Sure.
But the, you know, when we really think about it, dude, you know, you guys who are out there selling bullshit, and dude, you could see it. Like you can see it coming and unraveling because you're seeing people who, at least I'm seeing it. I'm pretty perceptive, and I think I'm more perceptive than the average person when it comes to this. But you're seeing people who have been around on the internet for a while, starting to like come up with all these different ways to sell shit. Like it's this shit that they weren't doing before. And what I see is panic. I see, okay, what they were doing isn't selling quite the same way because there wasn't real value in it because they were taking advantage of the good weather economically, right? Like people had cash, they're willing to throw a little bit over here, even if it doesn't have a whole lot of value. I'll try this out. Now we're dealing with an entire protected class of currency, right? Like people have less money, so they spend. It's not that they spend less; it's that they're more selective on where they spend the money. And so I'm seeing all these people now trying to like adjust what they do. Like I'm seeing dudes who sold like coaching now all of a sudden hawk like shit that that's not their core thing. All of a sudden they're selling it. You're seeing a lot of these influencers for the last 7 years who were making big money representing other products and then got too big to fucking really like be a part of those things. And you're seeing them go back to their roots and try to like really hustle again. And dude, so I'm starting to see the panic start to happen. But like, bro, you guys, you have no idea how bad that's going to get because it's going to get way worse. And it's going to get to the point where, you know, this is why I say, like, if you're a small business and you can stay on the gas right now, there's a tremendous opportunity for you to pick up quality talent because a lot of the quality talent at some of these other businesses that aren't managed or thought or philosophically led properly, strategically led properly, those people are being laid off or they're leaving. So like, dude, I'm looking at it as a massive opportunity for everything that I'm in. It's like pick up quality people, gain massive market share, go in when everybody else pulls back, you know, like I'm excited. I think I know it's going to be hard, but like, dude, I'm built for the fucking fight. I love the fight, bro. When shit's good, I get bored. Like when shit, like for the last 6 or 7 years where it was just like, it was just easy. It was boring. Like I'm a fucking fighter, bro. Like I'm built for the fucking battle. So like, to me, dude, like I'm looking around and I'm like,
there's not much I like more than a gun to the head situation.
That's what I'm saying,
you know? Like,
bro. The truth is that that's when your best shit comes out.
100%.
For me, my best shit comes out when it has to come out.
It's for the love of the game. It's like, fuck, I have to do this now. Like,
I think that's true for everybody, but most people avoid.
Well, it's like a gambling sickness almost. It's like everything, all the chips are in.
Well, dude, think about it like this, bro. Most people avoid those high pressure situations.
I love that shit.
Most people avoid the daily discomfort. You know, most people don't eat right. They don't train hard. They don't fucking take care of themselves. And the reason that they don't do any of these things is because they're trying to avoid the pain. They don't understand that the pain that you actually experience by doing the difficult things actually is what brings out the best shit inside of you. I cannot be my ultimate creative self unless my back is on the wall.
Yep.
And that's why I talk so much about cultivating zero option mentality.
Yep.
You have to cultivate that mentality of not having any options, even when things are good. And I've been fortunate enough to be able to keep that the entire time.
Yep.
But now a lot of you guys are going to learn it by default because you're going to get pushed up against the wall, and we're going to find out who actually can respond under pressure and who doesn't. And like, dude, my personal opinion, and I don't know what you think, but I think there's a lot of people out there because statistically, you know, entrepreneurship is 7 to 8% of the population. That's been from for the last 50 years. 1% of those is successful. So we're dealing with a small minority.
Isn't that a crazy statistic?
It is crazy, but here's the thing. How many people do you see calling themselves entrepreneurs now?
All of them.
Everybody.
It's the fucking cool thing. And the reason you're starting to see all these knuckle fucks that don't have any experience starting to coach people in business is not because they're good at business. It's actually because they're not good at business and they're trying to fucking create cash flow to fund their business.
No doubt.
So that they can stay alive.
And
they see it as easy money. And a lot of you guys, dude, like you're paying, like, bro, let me tell you something. If you're paying someone to fucking coach you or you're a part of a coaching group and that motherfucker hasn't built a real company,
that's what
you're wasting your fucking money.
Check the resume.
Yeah.
What have you done? What have you actually built? What have you actually sold? How many employees, like in detail, what is the fucking resume of the people that you're doing this? You know, it's going to be an interesting time because the market is the biggest gangster of them all.
Yeah.
And it's going to fucking purge itself over these next couple of years. Yeah. And so the people that have bullshit products, bullshit quality that, you know, really
little trends and trinkets
and not
like, dude,
who's going to thrive in this? Best in class operators, people that know how to build real companies, that have real quality, that have real people that understand the value of brand and know how to build a fucking actual brand. They're going to fucking survive and they're going to thrive and do incredibly well. People that understand how to pivot and move into stuff and products and services that are necessities over luxuries. It's like the exact reason why all these Airbnb people are going to fucking die.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people, this is interesting. Do you know how many people in the last 6 months have come to me with Airbnb businesses and asked me how to turn them into halfway houses and sober livings?
Probably a lot.
Fucking 50?
Yeah.
What happened? I thought you were killing it.
Nah, bro. They see, dude, it's the new easy fucking sparkly shiny thing. And like, you know, they hear you just like you heard your neighbor exit, they hear you exit and they're like, well, fuck dude, I got all these things. I can do what Spofford's doing. And they think it's fucking easy.
But yes, but it's also because they're not booking Airbnbs.
Oh, for sure.
Because people aren't spending money.
That's their next thing.
Yeah.
That's what it's the same thing as what I was saying a minute ago. You're seeing all these people who were typically doing other things. Now they're trying to do all these new things. And it's like, dude, the reason they would, if this was working,
spot on.
If this was fucking working, they wouldn't be doing all these new things.
Yep.
And it's just like,
that's exactly what you're saying. It's the same thing.
I think there's a lot. I think we're going to be surprised too. I think we're going to be surprised to see that there's going to be some very big, very famous people eat a fucking dick with what's going on. No, I'm being real, dude.
Yeah.
Being real. Like I see it coming, dude.
Yep.
A lot of these people are overextended. A lot of these people are fucking highly leveraged. In every area, their cars are leveraged, their house is leveraged, their business is leveraged.
How much of going through 2008 recession impacted decisions over the last 10, 12 years in your business, building it in safety for the next cycle?
All of it.
Exactly.
All of it.
Exactly.
All of it. You
knew
there was never
a
drop of intensity or urgency for me to grow our brand and build a secure brand. Like for example, like I was talking to a investment banker guy yesterday and we were talking about valuation of businesses and, you know, we're a debt-free company. So like, I don't owe fucking anybody $1. And he was like, yeah, most investment bankers would think you're an idiot. I said, yeah, they would until they saw that EBITDA, until they saw that fucking equity, until they saw that fucking 10X fucking value that my company's worth for the top line sales that we do because of the way I built it over the last 12 years. it's probably worth 10 times more than this company with the same top line.
Do you know what's so fucking
We own all our
interesting?
customer fucking information. Like, dude, we sell direct to the consumer.
Yeah, because, and people
Like-
don't understand that most companies are strapped with so much debt. And so if you sold, there's a waterfall structure of who gets paid first.
Yeah. And it
And
ain't you.
that debt, when I sold we were debt free. I've never had
Yeah.
a dollar of debt. I never took a dollar
Well, the reason
of debt.
I never had $1 in debt, bro, is because no one would give me any money. It turned out to be a blessing.
Yeah.
You didn't have no choice. It's not
Yeah,
that you
I didn't have a
want the
choice.
debt.
Yeah.
Bro, in 2010 or
Insane.
2007, right before the banking collapse, I went to fucking 30 banks over the course of a month and a half, bro, in my fucking Men's Warehouse suit, fucking, bro, no. That was the answer was no from everybody. It was the greatest thing that ever happened to me
Yeah.
because I had to figure out how to fucking do it without.
Bootstrapping.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. I started in 2008 and because I was so new to business and new to acclimating to real life and not the drug world, like I didn't understand what banking had looked like prior to that.
Yeah.
Like I remember walking into Bank of America in 2009, maybe early 2010 with $100,000 cash in the bank, which for 22, 3, 4, however old I
Shit
was,
ton.
was a lot of fucking money back then. And I remember asking them, I said, hey, listen, I fucked my credit up because I'm in recovery. I made some bad decisions back in the day. I haven't done that in a long time. I got a bunch of money in your bank. Can I get a credit card? I understand you have your secured credit card program for like people trying to build credit. You give me a card worth $500, you lock up $500 of my money. There's
Right.
zero chance for you to fucking lose anything.
No.
They denied me.
Yeah, that's right.
Like
That's how hard it got.
Yeah.
People don't realize that.
Dude, my dad, we had after a couple of years of my parents' divorce and he was renting a bedroom and all that, he had saved up and he bought a modest, like 1-story little ranch house. And he bought it in, 1999 or something. And so, over time, of course, he built equity in the house and he had like $100,000 line of credit on the house.
Mm-hmm.
He was extended $50,000 on it. He would extend it, pay it down, extend it, pay it down. Fucking overnight, they dropped the line of credit from 100 down to what he had spent on it, smoked his debt to income ratio, and totally fucked him financially.
Yeah, and they do that without any warning.
Like, you think these people give a fuck about you?
They don't care.
Like,
It's
he
sorry,
was-
it's
he
sorry,
was
sorry, Mr.
screwed.
Spofford. It's bank policy.
Yeah.
How is your relationship with your dad now?
Dude, I tortured that man growing up. I mean, we didn't get too much into like what the heyday was like for me, but like, dude, I've walked into that house, stabbed, fucking got my head split open by a crowbar, bleeding all over the fucking place. Like, I mean, this stress I put this dude under was like unbelievable.
Yeah.
And now in my house in New Hampshire, he had some health issues. He had a couple strokes, heart attack, open heart surgery. And 7 years ago, I was able to retire him. Like, you want to talk about why you're successful? Do you know how fucking cool it was to make my dad proud? It's like one of the coolest things I've ever done is make my dad proud.
Mm.
And so I moved, I have this big, like 16,000 square foot house, really nice place. And it's got his own in-law apartment. And I moved him in with me 7 years ago.
That's awesome.
And so he's like the best papa in the world. I got 2 boys. I got Gavin, he'll be 12 in June. And I got a younger one named Mace, who's 1.5 years. And he's just like a professional papa now, and we're as tight as we could be. He was always my guy my whole life. I just put him through so much,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fucking
Dude,
That's gotta be rewarding
overdosing,
and shit.
fucking, it's such a weird contrast of like my message of what I try to put out in the world is like, you can fucking do anything. Like, I remember coming out of my 4th overdose and them pulling me off of life support, dude. And they're taking me off the sedative drugs as they're pulling breathing tubes out of me. And I'm looking at my dad, and my dad's tough as nails, dude. My dad's 300 pounds, logger, fucking one of the toughest dudes I've ever met in my life. And he's standing in the corner of the hospital room. And as I'm coming to, I'm watching him cry for the first time. And like, now, like, I don't know how else to describe that, but like I get to take care of the man. I get to make him proud. You know what I mean? I mean, I got to tell him, I'm like, Dad, you got to shut the fuck up and like, stop bragging about all this shit we got. You know what I mean? Like, I was the guy that, because of everything we've discussed and everything you've talked about, I spent years hiding my wealth and hiding my success. I had the Lamborghini and all that shit, and I would literally drive it out of my neighborhood trying to hide, to get on the highway, to get out of town, to go out to dinner, to somewhere where nobody would see me with it.
Yeah.
And my dad would be out there.
That was
like,
me for a long time too.
Yeah. My dad would be like, my kid has 3 Lamborghinis and 2. Like, I'm like, you got to shut the fuck up. You're going to get us in trouble. You know?
Bro, I was scared. I was always scared. I had my Lamborghini my first Lambo. For a long time before anybody knew it. The only reason that people found out about it, was because I took it to dinner. I took Emily to dinner one night. And as I was walking in I got out of the car. As I was walking into the restaurant, one of my main employees was walking out and he fucking saw me getting out of the car and he was pissed. Not pissed about the car. He was pissed I didn't fucking tell him I had the car. Dude, and then I realized, holy shit, like I got the right people that are rooting for me.
Yeah.
And like that changed my perspective on it.
Dude, my first supercar, exotic car was a Lamborghini Huracan.
Yeah.
And we all have that moment, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I was driving it and I ran out of gas.
Yeah.
It's like the stupidest fucking thing in the world. And so here I am on the side of the road, out of gas, waiting for, I forget who, someone to bring me a tank of gas to put in this car. And one of my treatment centers was close by. And one of the things that we would do is drive the clients around in 15 passenger fucking white passenger vans, bus vans, whatever. But there's like a platoon of them, bro.
Yeah.
And so here I am sitting on the hood of my fucking Lambo, totally not thinking, and 6 vans full of patients at my treatment center and my staff go by, losing their minds. I was like, shit, I'm nabbed.
Yeah.
It's over.
Dude, I realized I had a good buddy of mine who gave me a good piece of advice about that. He goes, he had some cars and shit and like was a good influence for me in my life. He ended up not making some good decisions on him. But he's a good influence for me. And I asked him, I said, hey man, and this is my first cool car like I ever owned was an Aston Martin Vantage. So I bought, an Aston Martin Vantage. This was like 2011 and it was a 07 model that had like 30,000 miles. So it's kind of a cheater car, right? Like it was like, it was cool, but it was also used heavily.
Yeah, it's still Aston. Huh? Yeah, it's still Aston.
That's right. No one knew how many miles were on the motherfucker. I still got it though. Yeah. And I was asking my buddy, I'm like, and he had some badass shit. And I was like, dude, do you ever like get worried that your employees are going to fucking hate you for driving your shit? And he looked me right in the face. He goes, why would you want any employees that don't want that for themselves?
Damn.
And I'm like, fuck. That's a fucking great point. Yeah. And ever since then, I never gave a fuck. Like, if you fucking get turned off by my success, then you don't belong working with me, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, go work for somebody that's broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucking how I feel about it.
I love that.
Yeah. It's real good advice. And it stuck with me. Bro, he was dead serious too. There was no like, it wasn't like a conversation. He was just asking me that question.
It was hard for me with that topic because of the nature of my business.
Yeah.
There's 2 ways to tell the story. There's Eric Spofford helped 50, 60,000 people change their lives, which is true.
Yeah.
And made a lot of money doing it as he fucking should.
Yeah.
And it built a big business. The other one was, oh, look at him getting rich off drug addicts and helping people.
Yeah.
It's like, man,
you can't fuck with that. Who cares?
Nah, dude. Exactly. You know, can't fuck with that at all.
I am curious too, like a lot of those guys that you grew up with, did you maintain any relationships once you changed your life? Did you go back? Like, did you talk to any of those people? Like how did that phase out?
I tried to help all of them. Mm-hmm. In 2012, approximately, a drug called fentanyl showed up in America. Prior to that, we had a heroin crisis, an Oxycontin crisis, and overdose death started to skyrocket in our country, which now and for quite a long time, it's the leading cause of accidental death in adult Americans. You're more likely to die of an opioid overdose as an American than you are in a car accident. And it killed every single one of them. Dude, I have this vision, right, of like 16-year-old Eric at my dad's house. I got the basement with the bulkhead open. I got the big speakers with the wires running out to the speakers. I got 100 people in my fucking backyard. The kegs going, fucking great time. We're passing the blunts. We're drinking the booze. And I remember this, and we used to do it all the time. And I remember, like, I walked through, and every face I can fucking remember at that party is dead. All of them. Yeah, it was crazy. And so it was honestly probably like one of the most painful things I've ever been through. Was from like 2012 to, I don't know, the bulk of it was like 2012 to 2017, and then it was still happening today. But all of my people died in that time. The drug epidemic, the addiction epidemic in America happens right under the noses of everybody.
Mhm.
You go out in the world, and if you don't know what you're looking for, the signs and symptoms of addiction, which is, then you just won't see it. But if you do, you move through the day and like, you're like, holy, like
Cannot
I
see
see
it.
so many addicted people all day long, dude.
Mhm.
And they're driving nice cars, pumping the gas, sitting at the restaurant. I see them eating with their kids and their wife. And I'm like, that wife has no idea that he's got a dope habit.
Yeah.
Mm.
I can see it a mile away because I know what I'm looking at. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But most people fucking don't. Most
Yeah.
people, their bosses, their families.
Yeah.
And here's the crazy thing is the family aspect of it. How many times I've consoled parents, wives, husbands, kids that like they had no idea until the person died.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, it's not your fault.
No, it's fucking bullshit, bro.
It is
Getting that shit
bullshit.
fucking sent over here by China, fucking run across the border intentionally to fucking ruin our whole fucking culture and country.
It's intentional.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's a fucking crime syndicate where all these motherfuckers are criminals. I mean, you guys listen to the show.
Yeah, that's the other episode.
I mean, dude, Andy, the most shows I probably wouldn't even bring this up, but here I feel safe.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, when you think about the origins of this country, in my native area, we had the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah.
England said, hey, we want a little bit of money on the tea. And we said, fuck you, suck our dick, fucking, we're throwing this tea off the boat.
3%, bro. Like
I think it was
what's
less
that?
than that. I think it was 1%.
But here we are,
But
240 fucking years later.
But think of, I set him off.
Yeah.
Here we go.
They're paying these motherfuckers
I know
most of our money.
But listen, we told them to fuck off, go and get your guns, and fucking come and get it.
Yeah.
Who fought that war? Young men.
Fucking 20-year-old kids.
Look at 20-year-old kids today. You know who fentanyl's killing? 20-year-old kids.
Yeah.
And if they ain't fucking dead, they're fucking useless.
Yeah.
They're so high, they don't give a single fuck about, they're either hooked on drugs or on psychiatric medication, or, I mean, there's just so
Puberty
many.
blockers.
What's that?
Puberty blockers.
Well, dude, no, there's a whole, yeah, no shit. There's a
Yeah.
whole fucking, bro, listen, it's a perspective shift.
Yeah.
Dude, people
If
don't
you-
even consider themselves grown adults until they're 30 years old now.
If you're powerful, I know,
Yeah.
but yet fucking 18 to 24-year-old young men fucking fight wars.
I know this, but like,
I know.
like, dude, think about this.
I know.
Like, dude, look at all these 20-year-old people.
But if you are the powerful fucking people and the corrupt fucking bullshit that happens, who are you fucking scared of and who are you going to target?
And who are you going to handicap?
That's exactly
Yeah,
it.
I get it, dude.
And so when I look around at what happened to me, dude, I'm fucking 1999. I'm 14 fucking years old. And fucking my buddy, who was a good fucking kid
Yeah.
from a good fucking hardworking family in New Hampshire, walks into my house with a 40 milligram fucking pill that's synthetic fucking heroin. And it happened to me. And every one of those kids that died, that's how we started.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude.
And do you know, like me and my friends,
It allows it allows them to maintain their
And-
position of power and wealth
yes,
because these young men,
there's
now-
no threat. There's
Dude,
no fucking
What are
threat.
they going to be scared of?
What are you going to do?
Bro, listen, like reality.
They're either
You're
fuck-
38, I'm 43. We're in fucking great shape. Listen, dude, there's what? Less than fucking 1/10 of 43-year-old men that fucking are in the shape I'm in. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm 260 fucking pounds. I have fucking abs.
probably less than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm capable. But most of the fucking 40-year-old men are not capable. They're not capable. And so we have to like really take a look.
Hard inventory.
Now there is a handful of very capable 40-year-old men. You know, the Mike Lovers of the world, his whole
Mhm.
network, all those guys. But the reality, Eric, you're fucking telling the real shit. This shit was put into our, what year was that?
1999.
Okay. For the last
Oxycontin.
20 fucking years plus, they have inserted this drug over and over and over and over again. And while they're inserting this drug, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to insert this ideology of no competitive nature, of the opposite of natural order, where you are not judged.
Look
by,
at the growth of fucking psychiatric medication on young people in this country.
bro, it's insane.
They're either on fucking narcotics or fucking drugs, addiction, or we're fucking prescribing them SSRIs and mood stabilizers.
I was
and
on this shit for
psychiatric
11 fucking
medication.
years, bro.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah. And I dropped it last August, August 1st, July 31st, 22. I stopped taking Lexapro.
Do you know what?
Bro,
Yeah.
I'm still fucking having withdrawals.
Lexapro-
Like still,
I know.
still. Like I still go through these phases where like for like 3 or 4 or 5 days at a time, I cannot fucking function.
Brain fog, brain
bro.
zaps,
I have physical shakes.
I know, dude. I've seen it 1,000 times. This is my world,
bro.
Like,
it's fucking insane. And like, dude, the suicidal fucking shit.
The thing that's missing in fucking young people is fucking outrage.
Yeah.
Nobody's fucking outraged. I remember I remember in America, you remember in America that I fucking love.
Yeah.
These kids don't give a fuck.
They
don't give a fuck by design.
They never
because they've been attacked.
Yeah.
It's it's social media, it's fucking digital addiction, it's fucking drugs, it's psychiatric medication, it's fucking ideology, it's the broken belief systems they've been fed and raised on.
Destruction of the family.
It's the destruction of the family, it's the distraction, it's fucking all of that.
Yeah. Feminism. That's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Like fuck, like, bro, we're all this shit.
And at 1 hour and 57 minutes, the show went totally to shit.
No,
it's good. This is it. This is the real shit, though. You know,
dude. Like we talk. Yeah, we got big problems here, man.
We got fucking.
This is why I try to fucking get you guys listening to engage in what's going on. You know, like a lot of people think that someone else is coming. Motherfucker, nobody's coming. Nobody's coming to fix
You're it, bitch.
Yeah,
it's you.
It is you. It's every single person listening to the show.
And it's you to the fucking to the micro context of how you live your life in a fucking day-to-day and what you fucking do and your habits, rituals, and fucking routines and your goals and your vision and your objectives. Like, people don't take it from the macro context of how fucked up this is to what you fucking did today and the impact that you fucking made today actually matters.
Yeah.
Because it's the accumulation of all the fucking people, right? Like our mission statement at my new treatment business, which is called Treatment X, is to be the ripple effect of change. And what that came from was this analogy of that we throw a stone in the pond and most of us all we see is the splash. The ripple effect touches every edge of the shore. Every edge of the fucking shore. Every time. Every single day is your opportunity to throw a stone. You don't know the effects. And if everybody fucking did it, I know I'm preaching to the choir.
Nah, bro. They need to hear from someone besides me.
Yeah.
People haven't responded. It's like, dude, I saw this study come out over the weekend that showed that people who value patriotism is down from 68% in 2019 to like 39% in 2023. That's the opposite of what the fuck we need.
I know.
That's the opposite of what we need. And that's evidence of the cultural demoralization of our society by these people who are doing it to handicap you, take from you, steal from you, use you as cattle that provides them with their wealth, their control, their fucking power. And we're sitting here taking it, and you guys are getting less pissed, not more pissed. What's that tell you?
It's the system is fucking broken.
No, bro, our people are broke.
Yeah.
Our people are broke. And I don't mean financially. I mean culturally and fucking spiritually and fucking personal pride. Like, how the fuck can you, how the fuck can you be okay? Like, bro, how can any of us be okay with paying more of our money to the government than we get to keep ourselves? Because that's what we do. People think, oh, my income tax, it's 30%. You know, I get to keep 70%. The fuck you do? You fucking pay that shit. What do you
over and over
What do you pay to own your home? Yeah. What do you pay to spend money? What do you pay to own a car?
Yep.
What happens if you don't pay the tax to register your car? What happens? What happens if you don't pay your taxes? People say, oh, taxation is theft. Taxation is not theft. Taxation is fucking extortion, because there's consequences to what happens after that. You don't just lose the money. It puts you in jail.
And I agree with you. The people are broken. The system is broken. And that's the thing that's indoctrinating them into being
But dude,
fucked
I don't
up.
think I think I'm really starting to believe we might be past the point of return. I
don't disagree
with
you.
Who the fuck is going to come fucking lead these motherfuckers? Like, who is, like, dude, here's what we really need. This is real talk. We need a fucking real revolution. And that's real shit. And you got motherfuckers talking about, you know, like, and dude, by the way, when I say revolution, I mean fucking cultural revolution. Mm-hmm. I mean raising of fucking standards. I mean living a higher life. I mean taking an interest in the people who are actually oppressing you at all levels and fucking eliminating those people from existence in the terms of their ability to do so. Whatever the fuck that means. If that means a vote, I don't personally have too much fucking belief in our voting system right now. But if y'all think it's a vote, it's a vote. But what if it ain't a vote? Then what's the action? I think we all fucking know, right? Like, dude, where are those people? Where are these people? Where are all of you pro 2A fucking patriot motherfuckers up until 2020? You were the most vocal fucking badass, fuck around, find out. Now y'all are fucking crickets. You ain't saying shit.
Yep. Say that. Fuck, that's true.
Yeah.
God damn, that's true.
It's a fucking truth.
Yep.
If we don't stop this shit, you have zero fucking chance. And like, dude, why are we not have culture rallying around the people who are trying to lead these messages? Oh, you like my fucking shit. You like the, bro, the solution is simple. Go out and remove yourself from the system by becoming fit. They want you fat, become fit. They want you broke, become rich. They want you stupid. Take advantage of the free information that's all surrounded about you and educate yourself. It's very easy for us to fuck them without firing a single fucking bullet at them.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Well, notice everything that you just mentioned. I'm sure we can come up with more. When we are what they want us to be, you know what we are to them is fucking profitable.
Dude, that's it.
They're
We're fucking livestock.
milking you like cows.
Bro.
Exactly.
Bro,
we are
fucking livestock. There's these elite, quote unquote elites. They're not elites to me. They're pieces of shit to me.
You eat their food and they make money off the food complex. It gets you sick. You end up in the healthcare system. Like it's all directions.
You eat the food. Okay. We make money on the food. The food makes you sick. I make money on the medication. The food makes you fat. Now I make money fucking, by you consuming my streaming services and my porn and my shit on the internet. Now, you have no ambition. So you're not going to get wealthy so that you can get out of that fucking, you can work yourself.
It's consumerism and profitability and fucking control.
Yeah. And dude, people fucking like Eric, you know, dude, I have been on this as hard as anybody could be on it. As hard as anybody could be on it. I called it out play by play by fucking play for the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. And you know what I get? I get people telling me in my DMs, well, I can't share your show, man, because like, you know, my fucking sister-in-law gets offended and she gets on my case. Fuck your sister-in-law, bro. She's the fucking problem. She's the reason that when you listen to the show, you're shaking your head. Yeah. Like, where are we going to get our fucking courage, bro? I feel like I was born in the wrong fucking era. Like I was born in the, like I should have been born like it's 1776 era.
It's got to come to a fucking boiling point.
Or maybe I was born in the right era.
I was just going to say that. That's where I was going to say maybe you were born in the right era, and it's got to come to a fucking.
I'll die for this shit. I will fucking die for this shit.
Yeah.
This is no bullshit. Like, bro, if we don't save our fucking country from these fucking tyrants long term, I'm not talking about rushing the White House. I'm not talking about any of this crazy shit. I'm saying if we don't get organized, we don't create a fucking actual movement, we don't remove ourselves from their fucking corrupt system that fucks us all, we are fucked as humans. And your kids, they will die. They will be sent to fight a war that means nothing other than profit. And dude, that's where we're at. And like, dude, nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares.
Nobody fucking cares. And that, that's what I said earlier was there's just a lack of outrage.
Not for me.
Not from you. Not for me.
Yeah.
But just generally in society, there's just a lack of outrage of the shit that they fucking get away with. And, from my perspective, everything we're talking about is very true. My little keyhole on the world in the addiction stuff and the mental health and just seeing all of that, the fucking game is so broken. I mean, you get these kids that are hooked on drugs.
It's not broken. It's not broken, Eric.
No,
it works exactly as they want it to.
Yes, it's broken for us.
Yeah.
It's fucking
it's broken.
No. It is not broken. It's by design.
That's right.
It is fucking 100% by design. Yeah. But they become lifelong. Dude, you can look up a fucking clip of me at the United States Senate in 2015 sitting on a panel of 3 people. One was fucking Dr. Wu, who was a chief medical officer for the city of Baltimore. And then there was a pharmacist from Colorado and me. And the conversation was the opioid epidemic in America. It was to the Health, Education, Labor, and Pension Committee, the United States Senate. The drug Suboxone, you know what that is? Suboxone is a maintenance medication for opiates. If we took a Suboxone right now, we'd all be high as fuck. They have a street value. They're traded and sold like drugs. It's like methadone almost. It's a similar fucking drug. It was originally designed to be a short-term taper, like a week, to get people off of heroin or other opiate class drugs. Yeah. They have made that into a lifelong maintenance fucking program. Dude, I went head to head with this woman fucking on the United States Senate floor as a 15-year-old fucking high school. Like, if you don't think you can make a difference, here I am as a 15-year-old high school fucking dropout arguing with a doctor in front of the United States Senate who's telling the United States Senate that opioid addicts have to be prescribed this fucking very heavy opiate class narcotic medication for the rest of their fucking lives. They will be a slave to it. If they don't take it, they will go into withdrawal. They'll get sick. And this woman's telling fucking the Senate. And then the Senate, what's happened since then is they've passed a bunch of laws around accessibility, fucking distribution around this fucking drug. And they just blanket cover everyone with it. Even like just this one little microcosm of this by design broken system is we used to, as a standard for opiate addicts, so heroin addicts, Oxycontin, whatever, like get them sober and off all drugs. Now, by forced regulation from the government, we must offer them and put them on maintenance medications and offer it to them for life. Pharma, government. Do you know how fucking hard that was? The commissioner of the Department of Health and Human Services in the state of New Hampshire called me into his office. They changed the regulation in 2018. I fucking refused. In 2019, they said, fucking come in here for a meeting. They put a video that I put on Facebook. Fucking, I hate this shit, bro. I'm a heroin addict. I haven't used a mind-altering substance in more than 16 fucking years, and my life is unbelievable as a result of it. I believe in people getting clean and sober off of fucking drugs. They put a video of me in the conference room fucking saying a similar type thing. And then sat and told me, Eric, if you don't start putting people on fucking this medication and offering medication-assisted treatment and recovery for your patients, we're going to take your treatment license. Gun to the fucking head. You want a business or don't want a business?
That's insane.
That's fucking,
dude, real. And so then I watched my friends.
That's about fucking money. And then about keeping
So then I watch my friends. It's so fucking broken. They fucking come in and they want to be badasses. And that's like growing up, we wanted to be gangsters, not drug addicts.
Yeah.
We were listening to fucking Pac and Biggie and fucking, heavily influenced by gangster rap and smoking blunts, doing all this shit. And I watch all these people fucking get prescribed psychiatric medication, go to minimum mandatory. Do you know how many friends, the ones that are still alive, fucking either have completed or are still in double-digit federal prison sentences? And do you know that those people that I love, my friends that I grew up with, were incarcerated in federal prisons that were privately owned by companies that were traded on the New York Stock Exchange? And do you know while they were fucking incarcerated for fucking 10, 20, 30 fucking years, I got guys doing 50 fucking years on fucking conspiracy charges, that fucking they are forced and indoctrinated into slave labor. And these private prisons are fucking are contracted with fucking companies like Victoria's Secret, fucking American Airlines, fucking all. If you call American Airlines right now and talk to their call center, there's a probability that's very high you're talking to a federal inmate that's being paid 14 cents a fucking hour.
I didn't know that.
That they spend on canteen just to survive within the fucking prison. 85% of that prison population are nonviolent drug-related offenders. Joe Biden fucking pull up the 1994 fucking crime bill, and that fucking asshole's on the Senate floor fucking implementing minimum mandatory sentencing for fucking drug-related fucking crimes.
Yeah.
And so, like, you go and get fucking sentenced in a federal prison. Those fucking prison systems that are privately owned fucking employ some of the most powerful fucking lobbyists in fucking DC and make campaign donations just like fucking Big Pharma does. Dude, when I left the Senate building and I walked back, I forget where I was staying, like the Ritz or the W or something, and it was walking distance in DC in that political district. I fucking swear to God, I thought I was getting fucking I'm gonna get whacked. Like a van's gonna fucking scoop me, or I'm gonna get my head blown off right now.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. Like fucking crazy shit. But
bro, I'm just, we gotta wake the fuck up, dude. And like, dude, you guys out there, like the problem is it's the bystander effect. Everybody hears me say what I just said, and they're like, well, you know, he's not talking to me. No, no, motherfucker.
They're glad you said it.
Fucking you. I'm talking to you. You come here and consume my shit for free. I've helped all you motherfuckers make a whole bunch of fucking money or improve your lives in all these ways. You send me all this shit, these nice cards and all this shit. All I'm asking you to do is stand the fuck up for what's right. That's all I'm asking. And we don't even have that in this country anymore, bro. Like, it's a fucking shame. I mean, I do think the tide is changing and more people. But dude, the problem is that we're running out of fucking time.
Yeah.
We're running out of time. We're on the verge of probably the biggest financial crisis that's ever existed. Like, we're not talking about Great Depression. We're talking about the fucking Great Depression. We're talking about your fucking cash money being worth nothing. We're talking about hyperinflation like they had in 1930s Weimar Republic in Germany. We're talking about literal, total degradation of society as a whole. And like, we're on the fucking cusp of it. And like, you know, I don't know. I feel like I'm wasting my breath at this point. I feel like I need to dedicate my time to people who are committed to winning, who are committed to fucking working themselves out of the system to become independent, you know, financially. It's the only
way to escape.
Yeah, it is. It's the only way until we fucking get these people gone, until we get some real fucking leadership. And you guys still believe the media. You fucking watch the media. You watch these motherfuckers villainize these people, these regular Americans that go to Congress and sacrifice their time, and then you jump on the bandwagon making fun of them because they seem like simpletons to you, or they say some dumb shit. Hey, these are just regular people like you going to serve. That's what our government's supposed to be. And the media makes all these people look like fucking idiots. You know, like, look what they do to fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like, this is just a woman from fucking Georgia. And I'm not like super fan of this. I'm just pointing something out that I observed. You know, this woman who is just a regular woman who went and served a fucking Congress. And these people, the media fucking destroys her. It's like, dude, they destroy anybody who's a normal class peasant citizen that goes to serve. Why do you guys think that is? Our entire government was set up for fucking we the people to actually run the government. And the people who have been running the government for the last fucking 100 years have decided that they are in a club that we are not a part of.
Yep.
And that's not the purpose of our government. It never has been. It never was from the beginning. And it sure as fuck ain't that now. And these motherfuckers are taking all our money. They're taking all our freedom. They're trying to pass the, I forgot what the act's called now, to ban TikTok or whatever the fuck it is, which has all this hyper fucking vigilant power for them to censor social media at whatever costs. It's called the Restriction Act or something.
Restrict Act, yeah.
Restrict Act. And like, you motherfuckers are like yelling about Trump getting arrested and shit. Like, you're like, dude, these people are moving to straight authoritarianism, totalitarianism, which will lead to real communism. And you will fucking starve and you will fucking die, and so will your kids. And dude, if we don't fucking understand that, and I'm not talking 20 years from now. I'm talking fucking 5 years from now. Yeah.
Guys, like fucking, it's 2023. Think about how much different the world was 4 years ago in 2019. Like, it's only been 4 years since 2019.
It's not like dude, here's the thing though. The world wasn't that different. It's just that we weren't aware of it.
Yeah.
These people have been running this play. Like, dude, people are like, oh, well, back in my day, and I'm guilty of saying this too. Back in my day, you know, the news was the news and they told us the real shit. No, they didn't. They haven't been doing that for 100 fucking years, bro. The minute they knew that they could fucking tell you lies and you would believe them, they've been doing that. And they've been doing that for their own profit. Yeah. Like, dude, we don't even know our own history as human beings. Our history as Americans and human beings is kept from us intentionally. Our own human capabilities are kept from us intentionally because we are fucking way more powerful than they fucking want us to believe that we are. And they want us, dude, it's just like that movie Ants or Bug's Life or whatever, Bug's Life, where the ants got to fight the fucking grasshoppers. And they can't realize, like, the ants have been fucking beat and believed that they're just supposed to work and produce for the grasshoppers. And then the fucking ants comes up and he starts standing up to them. And all of a sudden they realize, holy shit, we're the ones with the power. And we have the power right now. Yeah. We American people have the motherfucking power right now. And everybody's like somebody posted a clip from my last show with Mike Yoder where I was talking about this, and I saw the comments, and they're like, people get it. They get it, but they don't know what to do. Well, motherfucker, I've been telling you what to do for 3 fucking years. I've gone over it 1,000 fucking times. And 3 years ago, had you listened about pulling yourself off the fucking system, you would have been off the system by now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, it's just, dude, people they're so neutered that like they have no fucking piss and vinegar in them anymore at all. They don't have any fight in them at all. And it's just, bro, it's honestly like, it's disappointing. Yep. Like, it's disappointing because like my whole identity of what like I thought America was and who the people are is being destroyed and diluted in my own mind because I look around, I'm like, motherfucker, we're supposed to be bad fucking motherfuckers. You guys are fucking just like, oh, okay.
A bunch of pussies.
Yeah. Like, bro, that's where we're at. And it's disappointing. Like, it's like,
and if you're look around, here's the crazy thing. If you're a bad motherfucker, you get villainized. Put a fucking target on your back.
Well, no shit.
From the media, from other people, from fucking, you know.
Bro, listen, my shit is so fucking, my shit, they won't even give me the fucking spotlight. They won't even shine that motherfucker over here because they know what the fuck will happen.
Yeah.
Millions and millions and millions of motherfuckers will hear it and they'll fucking be like, fuck, he's right. Yep. You know, that's why I ask you guys, share the show. Oh, I can't share it because my cousin gets upset with me. Well, fuck your cousin, bro. Yep. Do you want your kids to fucking die and starve or do you want us to be fucking free? Like, dude, think how much wealth could be created in this country in a fucking immediate point of time if our tax went from fucking where it is now to 10% consumption or 10% flat tax. We could do either one. Mm-hmm. They're mismanaging and stealing the money. Like you guys here, oh, well, they couldn't do that for just 10%. I don't know. Have you ever operated a fucking business? Probably not. And if you have, it's not a big business. I have. I've operated big businesses. I'm telling you, you could fucking do it.
You could.
These people are all on the fucking take. They give a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. That's how the shit gets passed. They print the money. They take it home. They give you nothing. That's what the fuck has been going on for decades. And like, dude, we're fucking just over here like, leave me alone. Well, eventually, dude, leave you alone, get you killed.
Yeah.
So, dude, trust me. Like, it's fucking frustrating for me. But, dude, personal excellence is the answer. Personal excellence is the ultimate rebellion that keeps these people from fucking fully gaining everything. And so you guys who are fucking fat and you're broke and you're fucking consuming IG all day and you're fucking binge watching every motherfucking show, bro, you're the fucking problem. You're the reason they're able to do all this shit. Mm-hmm. And if we all corrected our behavior, and by the way, I'm not judging, and neither is Eric, because guess what? We've both been pieces of shit too. Real talk.
Real talk.
Okay? Yeah. I've been there. I've been 350 fucking pounds, bro. I've been broke. I've been fucking consumed with the wrong shit. I understand that. And because I understand that, I understand how you can pull yourself out of that.
Yeah.
Just like you can understand. Just like you.
Dude, I've been lower down in life than most people ever will fucking go. And I say it all the time. And I don't know that when I say it, it gets the amount of respect or people understand the power behind it. As long as you're breathing, there's still hope.
Yeah.
As long as, bro, I flew here on my own fucking plane. Yeah. I've also fucking stood in a fucking gas station parking lot and fucking asked people for dollars because I'm hungry.
That's the beauty of fucking America.
That's dude. America. That's my fucking point.
But dude, that window to do that is now closing.
Yeah.
Okay. And let me explain it to you in your fucking internet terms so you understand it. In 2012, 13, 14, there was open algorithm on the internet on social media, meaning I went from fucking 0 to 100,000 Instagram followers in like fucking 4 months. You can't do that now.
No, you can't.
Can't do it. Okay. So all of you guys out there who have Instagram accounts and you're all like, fuck, I can't grow my fucking Instagram account. Do you know why? Because your freedom in that environment has been fucking taken from you and now you can't grow. Now apply that to your fucking business in real life. Mm-hmm. Now apply that to your life in real life.
Your career. Yeah.
You can't fucking grow the way they're running it. Okay. And that's what I've been through the shit. I was fortunate enough to harvest during fucking fertile soil. We don't have fertile soil right now.
Fuck, that's a good point.
And bro, I get all these motherfuckers that come to me and they're like, Andy, why don't you stick to business? You're one of the best business podcasts ever existed. No shit. That's why I don't fucking do it anymore because it's easy for me to do. You know what's hard for me to do is to get you fucking motherfuckers to understand that we are in danger and you are in danger of losing your entire opportunity to fucking grow. That dude, and that's real shit. Like you got, like I tell this story, Eric tells this story. you can't go right now, the way things are in America, it's 10,000% harder to go from begging for $1 to owning your own plane than it was fucking 15 years ago because of the shit that they have imposed upon us. And people can't connect it yet. Yep. They're like, dude, it should terrify you. And you know who it shouldn't terrify? Me, because I'm already here. Okay? And you should be way more outraged than I am right now. I'm outraged for you. And that's what people can't get.
Yeah, it's like if we remove
what do you do?
those.
DJ, why don't you guys just do Q&AS and fucking not do the CTIs? You know, I love your business shit, but I don't love your political shit. Well, you better learn to love it because you ain't going to have business shit without it.
That's the thing. If those restrictions get removed, how quick and easy it would be.
That's
for
what
people.
I'm saying. If we weren't paying fucking 50, 60, 70% like all in, if you're paying 30% income tax, you're actually paying probably like 60% all in when it comes all shakes
the nickel
out.
and dimes, yeah.
If you were only paying 10% and you didn't have to pay tax when you bought detergent and fucking chicken breasts and fucking Cheerios and the shit that you buy, and you didn't have to pay tax to own your car, and you didn't have to pay tax to fucking sell your shit, how much more fucking money would you have? Get it? This is instant relief we're talking about. You know, stimulus plan. The ultimate stimulus plan is for them to quit stealing our fucking
just
money.
Stop taking it from us.
Dude, that's it.
We don't want anything. Just
That's
stop
it.
fucking taking it.
That's it. And like, bro, these people, real talk, their heads belong on fucking sticks in the front of the fucking White House. Real talk. Mm-hmm. This is just like it's gone through history over and over and over and over and over again. They're tyrants. They're fucking drunk on their power. They are abusing us, and we're taking it like a bunch of fucking pussies. Fucking post that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, it's the truth. Anyway, it's been great having you on the show.
Fuck, man.
Dude.
It's been a great conversation.
Yeah, brother. I appreciate you taking the time coming up here. I appreciate your story, dude. I think it's needed. And like, dude, I want to be clear. Yeah, you still have the opportunity right now, but that opportunity is closing so fucking fast that you guys can't see it closing. The only reason I can see it closing is because I've already been doing it.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't want to like doom and gloom people, but there's a reality that we have to address, dude. And like, these people are taking look at what they're doing. Like real talk. Look at what they're doing. They're making us fight each other all day long. Constant chaos. They're taking our money all day long. Okay. They're causing us, they're making us work for them. Those motherfuckers in Washington, D.C. do not fucking work. That is not work. They are not creating or building or doing anything. They are taking a fee from a percentage of our pay to survive. All of their paychecks, all of their payroll, all of that wealth, that $300 million that Nancy Pelosi had, that came from your fucking pocket, bro, while you're working your fucking job. And that's what's so funny about the fucking socialist Marxist movement. You guys are arguing for shit and you're fucking arguing for more of it. Like bigger government, take our money, they're going to equally distribute it amongst themselves. You ain't getting shit. And like, dude, I don't know. Like, I just feel like I'm at my wit's end, dude. Like where I'm just like, these people are not going to get it. And by the time they get it, there ain't going to be nobody left to lead because everybody was fucking screaming about it, like me, that has other options, is going to go do those other options. So, I don't know. Can't fix the world in one fucking day.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Fuck, dude. I mean, who the fuck's going to lead us through this? Who? Okay, Trump. After Trump. Who?
Look what they keep doing to him.
Dude, we need people who have done real shit. We need real Americans serving the fucking government, just like real Americans serve in the military.
Yeah.
It should be required. It should be, if you like, dude, if I was called on to go do a job like that, I'd go fucking do it. Yep. And I would do it fucking well. But I could tell you what I'm not going to do. What I'm not going to do is give up my entire fucking life that's amazing and go beg motherfuckers for money and, you know, try to get you guys to elect me into a position of power. That's not what the fuck I'm going to do. You should recognize who the fucking leaders are and you should get behind them and support them. And if that doesn't happen in America, bro, we ain't going to have nobody to lead.
Yep.
So.
Interesting times.
Yeah, it's super interesting. Super interesting. Well, anyway, again, dude, thanks for coming in. Thanks for sharing your story. I I appreciate everything that you're doing. Where could people find you at? Where are you at most on the internet?
Instagram.
Okay.
At Eric Spofford.
Yep.
Easy.
So, guys, give Eric a follow. He's putting out some very high level, good business advice that is real shit for those of you, like a lot of you guys listening. You're real operators. You're running real business. He's giving real tactical advice, which I appreciate, bro. And yeah, support this man because he's doing good shit.
Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
brother. Likewise. All right, guys. Well, that's the show. Fuck all the tyrants.